On a crisp fall evening in America's heartland, Arizona State is about to play its biggest game of the season as the Sun Devils get set to take on the 16th-ranked Kansas State Wildcats in a matchup of two teams with 7-2 records, with both very much in contention to appear in next month's Big 12 championship game. Good evening, everybody. I'm Tim Healy, along with analyst Jeff Van Rapphorst, welcoming you to our Sun Devil Radio Network broadcast of tonight's game, coming your way from Bill Snyder Family Stadium in Manhattan, Kansas, where the weather this evening, perfect evening for football. Breezy, cool, game time temperature 61 degrees. It's no surprise for Kansas State to be in this position, contending for the top spot of the Big 12 with just 3 weeks left in the regular season. However, it is a monumental surprise, Rapper, that an Arizona State team picked to finish dead last in the 16-team Big 12 is in the same position as K-State in a remarkable turnaround season under second-year head coach Kenny Dillingham.
Yeah, I think that's the new era of football, right? When you can get 60 new players and assemble a football team that can surpass, quote, the experts. So great job by Coach Dillingham of getting new players, really finding the right players and then plugging them into their system. The coaches have done a good job getting players to really step up. You know, the Keyshawn Elliott's, he's back tonight. I think getting him back, and you know, it's just a super job of integrating. And Vegas was wrong and the experts were wrong, but that's the way it's going to be in college football.
ASU's hopes to pull an upset here tonight, getting a big boost with the return of running back Cam Scadaboo, who's back in the Sun Devil lineup after sitting out last week's win over UCF with an apparent shoulder injury. Dylan Edwards, reserve running back who transferred here from Colorado, is back deep to await the opening kickoff. Reserve running back Joe Jackson is back there with them, and Parker Lewis has it teed up at the 35-yard line. Parker has done a good job all season long on kickoffs. 30 of his 45 kickoffs this season have gone for touchbacks. The Devils are wearing sharp-looking uniforms, white helmets, white jerseys with maroon letters and numbers, and maroon pants, and K-State in their traditional home uniforms with the purple jerseys, white letters and numbers, and the silver helmets and pants. And Parker Lewis, a shorter kickoff to start this ball game, and it's taken by one of the up men at around the 20-yard line, and he returns to around the 32-yard line. One of the up men for K-State taking the kickoff. It is Jordan Allen, a defensive end, and he returns it to the 34. I'm not sure what that was all about, but Parker Lewis only took 2 steps to the ball before kicking it, and Kansas State will start with pretty good field position at their 34-yard line. Their offense led by their talented sophomore dual-threat quarterback Avery Johnson out of Wichita, Kansas. DJ Giddens is the running back, as K-State with 2 tight ends lining up to the left side of the formation on 1st and 10 from the 34. Handoff is to Giddens, and he is dragged down after a short gain, and a nice defensive play by C.J. Veit, the Sun Devil sophomore defensive lineman, who drops Giddens after a gain of 2 yards.
Yeah, Kansas State comes out with a 2 tight end set. They put them both on the left side, so they had 12 personnel, 1 running back, 2 tights, give up the middle, and good job by Veit controlling that inside defensive line interior.
2nd down and 8. 2 receivers to the left of the formation on 2nd and 8 from the K-State 36-yard line. Out of the shotgun off play action. Avery Johnson thrown to the near side of the field. The pass is tipped and intercepted. The pass is intercepted off the deflection by Xavion Alford. And the Sun Devils take it away on the second play from scrimmage in the ball game, and they will take over at the 49-yard line of Kansas State.
ASU brought pressure that time. A backside slant. They threw a right-handed quarterback throwing to the left side, throws a slant route. The corner got his hand in there, popped it free. The ball pivots up in the air, and Alford does a great job of really coming up and making something happen with that.
I think it might have been Shamari Simmons who deflected it.
You're right.
And then Alford with his 2nd interception of the season. That is the Sun Devils' 14th takeaway of the year. They are now +8 in the turnover department.
Yeah, Shamari came over the top. Jace Brown, one of their leading receivers, was on that slant route. Shamari did a good job with his right hand deflecting the ball, not getting his left hand around Brown and causing a penalty. And I'll tell you how big that is. If you look at the 2 losses that Kansas State has had this year, BYU and Houston, both of those losses have occurred when Kansas State has thrown 2 interceptions.
Avery Johnson, that is the 8th interception that he has thrown this season. And the Sun Devils, with the pick on the second play of the game, will take over at the Wildcat 49-yard line, 1st and 10, with Sam Leavitt, the redshirt freshman at quarterback, and Cam Scadaboo in there at running back. Off play action. Leavitt looking to throw, will take off and run, has room to go to the 40, 35, 30, to the 25, and he spins out of bounds at around the 23-yard line of K-State. A 26-yard scramble for Sam Leavitt on the Sun Devils' first play from scrimmage.
Yeah, that was a shot play. ASU was going deep on that. There was nothing there. It looked like man-to-man coverage. That's why Sam had that big hole over on the defensive left side of the field.
1st and 10 from the K-State 23-yard line. Leavitt hands to Scadaboo, and Scadaboo is dragged down after a gain of about 3 yards on the play. Linebacker Austin Moore making the tackle. He is K-State's 2nd leading tackler on the season.
That was interesting. They had a tight end and 2 receivers into the boundary. The ball was on the right hash. They faked the receiver screen into the short side of the field, gave it to Scat, and Scat ran the short side of the field. So a lot of bodies on that side. Now they flop them, trips to the wide side to the left.
They spotted at the 21. It's 2nd down and 8 as Leavitt looking to throw, looking left, nothing there. Now scrambles to his right. He'll run it again, and Leavitt will be close to a 1st down. He's forced out of bounds, shy of the line to gain. They're going to mark him out at the 16-yard line. A pickup of 5 on the play. That will set up a 3rd and about 3 for ASU.
Yeah, good job blocking. Kansas State only rushed 3 that time. Good protection, as you would expect, good protection from the 5 offensive linemen against 3 D linemen. Sam had time to survey the field, didn't like it, didn't force the ball, picked up 4 or 5 yards with his legs.
On 3rd down and 3, Xavier Guillory lined up to the left side, the only receiver wide of the formation. Now a toss to Scadaboo, and he's going to be dropped for a loss. There is a penalty flag down on the play near where Scadaboo was tackled at the 23-yard line, which would be a loss of 2. And some of the Sun Devils are pointing toward K-State as if the penalty will be on the Wildcats. Chamon Metayer taking the role of official right now, still waiting for an official word.
Holding, number 56, defense.
That's a holding call on nose tackle Damian Alalio, a product of Manhattan High School here in Manhattan, Kansas. And that defensive holding penalty will be an automatic 1st down. It will advance the ball to the K-State 8-yard line and make it 1st and goal. And what a costly penalty on Alalio.
Yeah, Alalio was being blocked by the center, and he grabbed the ASU's right guard. Did not let him get free to block.
1st and goal from the 8. Leavitt handing the ball off, and it's Kyson Brown, and he goes nowhere as he is swarmed under, trying to sweep the left side of the offensive line, and K-State just blew up that play with safety Marquise Siegel coming up from the secondary to lead the surge. The ball spotted back at the 11. It's a loss of 3, so it'll be 2nd and goal.
ASU will come back to that look. Chamon Metayer, the tight end, faked the block, went out in the flat, and looked like he was fairly wide open out there. But again, each of these plays is designed to give the coaching staff some kind of idea of how they're going to play it. Looks like kind of a man-to-man look. Scat, empty backfield, Scat left.
On 2nd and goal, Leavitt looks, throws for the end zone. The ball is tipped, incomplete. I believe it was linebacker Austin Romaine who got a hand on that pass. It was intended for, I believe, Jordan Tyson on a slant in the end zone, and Romaine deflects it, incomplete. That will set up a 3rd down and goal.
They ran Tyson in the slot. He was slot right. He ran the slant route. Linebacker Romaine undercut it. Did a nice job of tipping it away. Romaine, a 6'2", 242-pound sophomore, 7th in the Big 12 with tackles. He comes in with 69 tackles on the year.
3rd and goal from the 11. Pressure coming. Leavitt throwing for the end zone, and it's caught for a touchdown by Jordan Tyson. The Leavitt to Tyson connection clicks again, as Jordan Tyson hauls in his 8th touchdown reception of the season to put the Sun Devils on the board first in this big showdown with K-State.
Yeah, two things happened that were really good on that. One is the protection. It was a blitz by Kansas State. Kansas State brought up, they had like 8 or 9 on the line. They brought 5. I believe it was Scat that cut down the linebacker. Sam stayed strong in the pass, or excuse me, in the pocket and threw a strike to Leavitt. I believe Leavitt was on the inside. They ran like a cross route, or what they used to call TD switch, 2 goes on the inside-outside combo.
And the extra point is good from Parker Lewis. The Sun Devils scoring on their opening drive for the 7th time in 10 games this season. Oh, by the way, they are 5-1 so far in games on which they have scored on their opening possession. Timeout on the field. Our score, Arizona State 7, Kansas State nothing, here on the Mountain America Credit Union Sun Devil Radio Network. Take it to another level. Achieve legendary status. No one does it better. So you do you at Gila River Resorts and Casinos. A 6-play, 49-yard touchdown drive for the Sun Devils. Less than 3 minutes elapsed. Set up by the Xavion Alford interception of Avery Johnson in the second play of the game. The payoff wrapper, an 11-yard touchdown pass, Sam Leavitt to Jordan Tyson.
Yeah, a nicely designed play. You know, they put Tyson in the slot. ASU put Tyson in the slot in the last 2 plays. They tried the slant route, got deflected. That one they ran a wheel route. So the inside receiver runs a fade route down the outside, so the outside receiver crosses with him. And Tyson did a nice job of stuttering, kind of gave him an inside pop, inside step, and then went back to the outside. And he got matched up on Marquise Siegel, who fell down.
A safety. They got Tyson on a safety. That's an advantage you want to try to create all night long.
But that's good coaching, right? I mean, that's not just rolling it out there like, hey, we're going to go with this formation and see right away. You know, we talked about each play giving you data, and you're accumulating data on your opponent. And ASU's got a good coaching staff and a good call by the staff.
Let's check in quickly with Kevin Turner. KT?
Yeah, guys, with the deferring of the kick and turning that around with a turnover, ASU's given up 5 opening possession scores. That's almost like a 14-point turnaround. Great strategy by Kenny Dillingham, but heads-up play by the defensive backs. Great execution again in the red zone.
As Parker Lewis kicks it off, and Dylan Edwards, the deep man, will just let it hit in the end zone for a touchback. And the Wildcats will go to work from their 25-yard line, 1st and 10. ASU with a 7-0 lead. And great start for the Sun Devils, getting a takeaway and then able to convert that into a touchdown on their first possession of the evening. As Avery Johnson, DJ Giddens and company back out there for K-State. As they go from their 25-yard line, 1st and 10, they hand the ball to Giddens on 1st down, and he is stopped for no gain on the play. Good work by the Sun Devil run defense as Caleb McCullough gets up off the bottom of the pile. Also in on the play for Arizona State, linebacker Jordan Crook. The Arkansas transfer has really come on as the season has evolved.
You know, he's that rundown guy. They like to play him early in sets. He comes up and hits so well. Again, another portal. The portal was rebuilt. What do we get? 4 linebackers? Well, 3 linebackers in the portal plus the freshman Martell Hughes.
On 2nd down, Johnson to throw, swings it out of the backfield to Giddens. He sidesteps Crook and gets out to about the 31-yard line before Crook recovers and makes the tackle. Prince Dorba and CJ Fight were also chasing down the play, but a good job by Crook, who got sidestepped but then stayed in the play, made the tackle. It's a gain of 6. It'll set up a 3rd and 4 for K-State at their 31-yard line.
Yeah, Crook, he played quite a bit at Arkansas. He got in like 25 games before he transferred over here. He's only listed at 6'2", 6 foot 220, but he looks bigger than that. And he hits hard, plays aggressively.
Receivers to either side, 2 tight ends tight on the right side. K-State has a deep group of tight ends. On 3rd down and 4, the quick slant is thrown and caught by one of those tight ends. And it's Garrett Oakley who has a 1st down out to the 37-yard line, a gain of 6. Oakley with his 14th reception of the year. K-State's tight ends, and they have about 4 or 5 of them who play a lot, have teamed up for 10 touchdown catches this season.
Yeah, that's an amazing stat. That was, what, #1 in the country out of that personnel grouping.
First and 10 from the K-State 37-yard line. Dylan Edwards is in at running back off play action. Johnson throws far side of the field, and it's caught for a gain of about 5 yards on the play by Jace Brown, who was the Wildcats' leading receiver on the season, making there his 34th reception of the year. Brown went down to the turf after catching the ball, so he was down at that point. He is a sophomore from Fort Walton Beach, Florida. Second down and 5 at the 42. Arizona State leads at 7-0. About 6 minutes gone by in the first quarter. On second down and 5 out of the shotgun, Johnson awaits the snap. Dylan Edwards, the running back, to his right. The handoff to Edwards, finds a hole and bursts through and is close to a first down. He'll be dropped a yard short at the 47-yard line as the tackle was made by safety Ghost Rouser. 3rd and 1 for Kansas State.
These guys like that 12 personnel, don't they? They stay in that quite a bit. 2 big tight ends out there, and now they're one's on the line, one's flexed out in the slot.
And that the slot, Garrett Oakley, is now in motion on this 3rd and 1. The give to Edwards, and they stack him up, and I don't think he got the first down. As the tackler was made, Blazin Lono Wong, a reserve defensive lineman, was in and made that tackle. And Kansas State, no gain on the play. It'll be 4th and 1 at the 47. The Wildcats are going to go for it. And now a whistle blows, and I think Kenny Dillingham and Arizona State
takes their first charge timeout of the half.
Good timeout for Kenny Dillingham as the Wildcats had like the tush-push type formation ready to go, trying to get that yard to extend their possession. And Arizona State says, wait a minute. Let's get a timeout here to make sure we're on the same page on how to defend that type of play, if indeed K-State tries to run it again. Boy, what a huge stop it would be, Rapper, after the Devils already got an interception that set them up in K-State territory. If they could get the ball back again on that side of the field.
Yeah, that would be a nice gift. That would, in essence, be the second turnover of the game. That's kind of where I think ASU needs to be at least +2 or +3. You're playing on the road, but you know, half yard. I think the big thing is just keep contesting, make every run hard for him. Is that Prince Dorba in there at rush end now, or?
Kenny Dillingham looked like he was having a bit of a heated discussion with the linesman on during that timeout. In any event, K-State is back out, and they're going to go for it again on 4th and 1 from their 47-yard line. And the official now has declared the ball ready for play. Johnson will line up in a mini shotgun. He'll hand the ball off on 4th down, and it's going to be close. The Sun Devils, I think, may have stopped them for no gain. And it looked like it was DJ Giddens who got the handoff, and I don't think he got the first down.
No, the official came in from the ASU sidelines. It looked to me like he marked him short.
They're going to spot the ball between the 47 and the 48, and the 48 is the line to gain, and Sun Devils have held them. And Arizona State will take over on downs at the Kansas State 48-yard line.
I know, Kevin Turner, you were preaching all pregame about starting fast. You were emphasizing the first 7, I believe. You feel vindicated now, my friend?
Well, it was a point of emphasis this week, and sometimes when you emphasize something, good results happen.
Caleb McCullough is credited with the tackle along with Xavion Alford, and ASU holds on downs and will get the ball back, leading 7-0 over Kansas State when we come back in a moment here on the Mountain America Credit Union Sun Devil Radio Network. Beat the heat at Circle K. Enjoy a Polar Pop or Rapper's favorite, the Froster, for only 79 cents all year long. Head to your local Circle K to take advantage of this refreshing deal. Well, we talked all year about Kenny Dillingham's passion for the middle 8 of the ball game, something he picked up from Oregon head coach Dan Lanning when he worked under Coach Lanning as the offensive coordinator 2 years ago. The last 4 minutes of the first half, first 4 of the second, so important. And the Devils have been great in that middle 8. Well, Kevin Turner was talking a lot about the first 7 tonight, Rapper, and so far so good for the first 7. An ASU touchdown coming off an interception, and now the Devils hold the Wildcats on downs and get it right back in Kansas State territory just inside the 48-yard line.
A long game, but you know, you only get so many possessions, right? What did we figure? It was like 9 to 11 possessions
something
per
like
game.
That, yeah.
You know, when you look at Kansas State's, so far they've taken, let's just call it 10. Say they get 10. They've taken 2 of their 10, and They've given up the ball twice. ASU's gotten phenomenal field position. Now we'll see if they can make something happen. Cover 2 here by Kansas State. They got 2 deep safeties giving you the run if you want it. Now they walked a safety down late. Sam saw the safety walk down. Now he's audibling. They're out of cover 2 into an invert, almost a man-free look.
On first down, the give to a play fake and a pass that was deflected and almost picked off, but falls incomplete upfield, and it'll be 2nd down and 10. Great play fake. For a moment I thought Scadaboo had the ball, and Leavitt missing the pass on the play action fake, and it was deflected by a K-State defender.
You know, that ball, that was a man-to-man route. Sam changed the play, had the comeback on the boundary side. The ball was just deflected away by the defensive lineman.
A play fake. Here's a screen to Chamon Metayer, the tight end, and it's well defended by Kansas State, as Metayer is only able to pick up about 3 yards to the 44 of K-State before the tackle was made by linebacker Austin Moore.
Back and looked at that replay. The ball was blocked by Chidi Obeizor, and he is 6'6", 282-pound defensive end. That's the second ball Sam's gotten tipped in this game.
So it's a 3rd down play. They spot it just inside the 45, so we'll call it 3rd and 8. Tyson and Melquan Stovall are split to the left side, but compressed close to the formation. Guillory is on the right. On 3rd and 8, out of the gun with pressure coming. Leavitt spinning away, being pursued, in trouble, and all he can do is throw it away into the Kansas State bench. As the pressure was coming from Marquise Siegel, the defensive safety, and also cornerback Jacob Parrish. So 2 of the Kansas State defensive backs came on the blitz. And actually there were 4 Wildcats in pursuit of Leavitt. And the Sun Devils, unfortunately, unable to capitalize on the defense holding on downs. Keegan Johnson, one of K-State's top receivers, is back deep awaiting the first punt of the night of freshman Canyon Floyd. As Floyd gets it off, and he's going to try to pin him deep, but he got too much oomph on that one, and that punt is going to go into the end zone for a touchback. It'll look good on the stat sheet, a 45-yard punt, but not so much in the net punting department, as it will be a touchback. And Kansas State dodges a bullet after being stopped on downs on their side of the 50-yard line. It's still a 7-0 game in favor of ASU. We have 6:47 left to go in this first quarter, as the K-State offense and the Sun Devil defense head back onto the field. Wildcats take over at their 20-yard line. Dylan Edwards is in at running back right now for K-State. Dante Cephas and Jace Brown, a receiver, split to the left of the formation. And now Edwards motions out of the backfield. Avery Johnson looks that way, now takes off on a design run, but the Devils string it out nicely and bring Johnson down after a gain of only about 2 or 3 yards. Jordan Crook was one of those that helped string out the play for Arizona State, and so too did cornerback Keith Abney.
Yeah, I thought Keith did a really nice job. He was that boundary corner. He stayed home. It looked like the ball was going to the field, but it was a design quarterback keep into the boundary, and Abney stayed there. And that's what good defense is about. Take your area, do your responsibility.
A gain of 3. It'll be 2nd down and 7. Again, Avery Johnson in the gun. Edwards to his right. Off play action. The throw to the near side of the field is bobbled and dropped by the tight end Garrett Oakley, with Keith Abney in coverage for Arizona State. Oakley unable to hold on to that ball right in front of the K-State bench, and it'll be 3rd and 7 for the Wildcats. As checking into the lineup for K-State at wide receiver is Chandler Hamilton High School product Trey Spivey, a redshirt freshman who is the son of former Arizona Diamondback Junior Spivey. The Sun Devils getting a late sub in defense as J.P. Dieter comes out of the lineup, a defensive lineman. 3rd down and 7 for Kansas State. Johnson to throw with time. Pocket starting to collapse. Johnson scrambles left, throws. The pass is incomplete, intended for Spivey, and he couldn't hold on. It would have been a short gain anyway because Spivey was surrounded by Sun Devils, and Arizona State forces a 3 and out, and K-State will have to punt from its deep in its own end of the field.
Yeah, I don't think people realize how good Shamari Simmons is. especially on a busted play like that. He spins around, he's taken away the deep out, and he pivots inside and finds Spivey.
The punter is Simon McClanahan, who gets off the kick, which is fair caught at around the 34-yard line by Melquan Stovall. A 43-yard punt with no return. Arizona State leads at 7-0. The Devils will take over at their 33-yard line when we return in a moment here on the Mountain America Credit Union Sun Devil Radio Network. Arizona State off to a good start here in Manhattan, Kansas, leading K-State 7-0 with 5:49 left to go first half. The Devils 7-2, their best 9-game record in a decade. They were 8-1 at this juncture to start the 2014 season. Let's check in with Kevin Turner on the sideline. KT, you said Kenny Dillingham was talking with two of his stud offensive players just a moment ago.
Yeah, he pulled Jordan Tyson and Sam Leavitt out of the general offensive huddle, pulled him over to the side, and he was motioning at Jordan Tyson. It looked like he wants him in that cover 2 scheme to push up the hash to hold the free safety there. Let's see if they run a dig at about 16 across the middle. I think that's what the motion was. If I could read Kenny's body language, it'll be interesting to see what they do here in this series.
Indeed, as the Devils, again, both teams huddled in front of their benches. This game televised on ESPN, so longer timeout breaks during the course of this contest. And you couldn't ask, Rapper, for a better start from this Arizona State team so far.
You know, it's really broke ASU's way. You're on the road. You want to make some plays. And, you know, you got to almost gear in, though, if you're ASU. Not every play is going to be, you know, a great play or score. It's just keep competing and do the little things. I was talking with the coaching staff for the game last week. There's a couple more mental blown assignments in the secondary, and you know that's what they wanted to see, is guys get locked back in mentally. But those are things that we'll never see if somebody does their job on the backside of a play, because we follow the ball and we broadcast the ball.
One personnel note, Emmett Boley started tonight at right guard, but Kyle Scott, who has started the last 5 games there, is back in at right guard. As on first down, Scadaboo has the ball, and Scadaboo, just refusing to go down, is finally tackled after gaining to the 39-yard line. A pickup of 6 yards on the play. The stop finally made by safety Jack Fabris.
Yeah, 3-man front. Leavitt gets a good block. It's like one of the safeties or linebackers overran the play and gave Scat the cutback. He was right tackle and then brought it right back up between guard and center.
2nd and 4 from the 39 of ASU. Sun Devils lead 7-0. Again, it's Scadaboo looking for that first down, lowers his head, drives forward, and I think he's going to be about a half yard short. He needed to get to the 43, and let's see, it's going to be 3rd down and less than a yard, so he will be short, as reserve linebacker Rex Van Wy was in on the tackle for Kansas State. 3rd and 1 coming up.
Yeah, here comes big boys right now. They're going to...
Makua Poule's
coming in.
The offensive lineman from Gilbert, who lines up as a blocking back in the backfield on 3rd and short, except he's not going to line up that way here. He's going to be an added offensive lineman. It's a pistol look with Leavitt in the shotgun, Scadaboo behind him. Now Scadaboo lining up to the right, and again, Kenny Dillingham is going to burn a timeout here.
Takes their second charge timeout of the half. 30 seconds in late.
You know, it's interesting. ASU went big. That gave KSU time to substitute. They went big. I almost wonder if you're better off keeping him in that 30 front. Let Sam stay at shotgun. Right before the ball, you want to snap the ball. Walk Sam up right under center, and you can go either way because both guards are uncovered.
We talked a lot about the fact in pregame, and there was a lot of conversation during the week, that the Devils have not fared well against teams with that odd man front. In fact, the 2 games they lost this year, at Texas Tech, at Cincinnati, teams that went that 3-3-5 route. And Kenny said on the pregame that one of the reasons why they've struggled is they don't get to practice against that very much, because that's not the style that Arizona State uses on defense.
No, and it's really not that much, not very popular. You know, what was, God rest our soul, the old Pac-12.
Yeah, indeed, as we check in quickly with Kevin Turner.
Yeah, Brian Ward said if they're going to have success, they're going to line up right now. We'll get back to that in a moment.
3rd down and a yard. And now Poulle and freshman Terrell
Scadaboo.
Kim are lined up, and it's the wild scat. Scadaboo gets it, and he's got the first down with plenty to spare as he gets out to the 48-yard line of Arizona State. And it's a first down for the Sun Devils. Safety Jordan Riley making the tackle. Interesting formation there where they took 2 offensive linemen, Makua Pule and 350-pound true freshman Terrell Kim from North Medford, Oregon, and lined them up in the backfield with Scadaboo, who took the direct snap. Now we got a quarterback taking the snap on this play on 1st and 10 from the 48. DeCarlos Brooks and Kyson Brown are both in the backfield off play action. Leavitt drops back,
tight end.
sets up, throwing deep downfield, and overthrows Chamon Metayer, who was open inside the 20-yard line.
Chamon Metayer is so wide open that he stopped and threw his hands up rather than continuing on the route. Oh, that was a missed opportunity. That was a shot play that ASU had called up. I'm not sure if Sam got to it too late or Metayer, they had a little mix-up on the route, but he was wide open down the boundary hash.
That's got to become a stat category in years to come. MOs, missed opportunities. And that was a big one there. 2nd down and 10 from the Arizona State 48-yard line. Sun Devils lead 7-0 late first quarter. Off play action, Leavitt looking again to throw. In trouble. He's going to take off and run to the near side of the field. He gets to midfield, and he'll slide down inside the 50-yard line near the 47 of Kansas State. It'll be short of a first down, but Leavitt was in danger of getting dropped as the pressure was coming. And again, he's able to use his legs to make a play. They'll spot it at the 48, and it will be 3rd down and 6 after that 4-yard gain. Jack Fabris, the safety, was one of those in pursuit. On 3rd down, Guillory and Tyson flip-flop sides of the field. Tyson and Chamon Metayer line up to the left side. Stovall and Guillory to the right. On 3rd and 6, Leavitt in trouble, gets away, rolling to his right, penalty flag down as Leavitt is going to scramble for a first down, but this may not count as Level is out of bounds at the 40-yard line of Kansas State with a first down. But the flag thrown in the area where, especially when a quarterback is under duress, you're likely to get a holding call. And Kevin Turner, you saw the play. It was Maxi Honachor, right?
Yeah, he just tackled the left defensive end.
Holding, number 58, offense. Personal foul, face mask, number 21, defense. The foul's offset.
Oh, wow.
Replay 3rd down.
That face mask is on free safety Marquise Siegel. And as Kevin was saying, Honachor guilty of the hold. So they offset and will do it over again. 3rd and 6 from the K-State 48-yard line with 2:44 left in the first quarter. Arizona State on top 7-0.
One thing, if you're watching this game and you're a Kansas State fan, Sam Leavitt's legs are driving you nuts. His escapability is off the charts right now. Kind of a man-free look.
3 receivers to the right side of the formation in a diamond triangular set. They'll feed Scadaboo the ball, and Cam Scadaboo is down. I think he's got a first down to the 42-yard line. He picks up 6, and I think they're going to move the chains. It'll be an Arizona State first down. The tackle made by linebacker Desmond Purnell.
That was 3rd and 6, and Kyle Scott did a nice job of getting onto the nose and then getting up on the linebacker, creating a running lane for Cam Scadaboo.
We're under 2 minutes to go in the period as the Devils on the move, leading 7-0.
Tim, how about that? 3rd and 6, you're Marcus Arroyo, you're the offensive coordinator, trips to the field and you give it to Scat. How much did we miss him last week?
Boy, and they managed to win without him. First down off play action to Scadaboo. The pass to the near side caught by Tyson at the 32. And Tyson, trying to slip out of an ankle tackle, is unable to do so. Goes down at the 32-yard line. That tackle made by Keenan Garber, senior cornerback from Lawrence, Kansas. A young man who grew up in the shadows of Kansas and ends up playing at Kansas State.
That's almost as bad as growing up south of Maricopa and not coming to Tempe to play for the Sun Devils. That's sacrilege. That's sacrilege in the Midwest.
A gain of 9, 2nd and a yard. Stofall motions off play action on 2nd and short. Leavitt wanting to throw, going, and he's got a man open and overthrows Xavier Guillory. Guillory on a post corner inside the 10-yard line was open. Not a good throw that time from Sam Leavitt.
He had 2 players in that neck of the woods. Great pass protection, first off. And Guillory
actually
gets both hands on it, Tim. Probably should have had it.
Let me bring that back. Bad angle, because that was an on-target throw, and that should have been caught by Guillory.
That was a post corner route that Guillory converted to a fade when he got near the sidelines. When he turned up, the ball was there.
So it's 3rd and a yard. Let's see what the Devils do. They give it to Scadaboo, and Scadaboo doesn't get much, but I think he just was able to nudge the ball past the 32-yard line, the line to gain, and indeed it will be an ASU first down inside the final minute of the first quarter, as the tacklers were safety Jordan Riley and linebacker Austin Moore.
ASU has called some shots. I know Kenny wanted to try to hit some shots, because that's how Houston was effective beating him last week. And they've hit some, and they're really close on the others.
But again, Jeff, I think that MO category, missed opportunities, the Devils are starting to pile up some missed chances. 1st and 10 from the 32 of K-State, out of the gun. Leavitt awaits the snap, and we have a whistle blown and a false start on the Sun Devils.
False start, number 79, offense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Let's check in with Kevin Turner. That false start whistled on center Leaf Fautanu.
All right, guys, this play calling is very intentional. I talked to Marcus Arroyo in the lobby before the game, and he said the key to beating this 3-man front against Kansas State is to run inside zone and then to run perimeter screen. What they're focusing on is trying to get Jordan Riley, their devil back, to creep down. Once he creeps down, Sam Leavitt has a green light to take a shot. We're seeing exactly that game plan being carried out. ASU's just got to execute and catch some of those catchable balls. Jordan Tyson ran that post corner and then had to turn inside. He had an opportunity to catch it, but he just didn't reel it in.
All right, KT, that's the end of the first quarter. Our score, Arizona State 7, Kansas State nothing. Back with the second quarter of tonight's game from Manhattan, Kansas, after these messages on the Mountain America Credit Union Sun Devil Radio Network. ChazRoberts.com for Arizona's leader in heating, plumbing, cooling, and caring. Chaz Roberts serving you since '42. As we welcome you back to the second quarter of tonight's game from Bill Snyder Family Stadium in Manhattan, Kansas. Arizona State and Kansas State. This is the seventh, I should say, all-time meeting between the two schools. ASU won the first 5 meetings against Kansas State, and then the only Sun Devil loss in this rivalry came in their last meeting 22 years ago in the 2002 Holiday Bowl. ASU entered that game as the biggest underdog of any team in the bowl season of 2002. They were something like an 18 or 19 point underdog to Kansas State, and yet outplayed the Wildcats for most of the game. But K-State rallied and scored a touchdown in the final 2 minutes to win it 34-27. This is the first ever meeting between the two schools here in Manhattan. And a little bit of trivia. Arizona State was the opponent for Kansas State in the first game coached by the man who's now the legend here in Manhattan, and the man for whom this stadium is named. Bill Snyder made his Kansas State coaching debut in September of 1989 in Tempe in a game ASU won a season opening 31-0 victory. And that also happened to be the first game that I ever did the play-by-play for an Arizona State football game. It was telecast on Channel 3 TV, KTVK in Phoenix, back in September of '89. And that summer, Sports Illustrated did an article, a cover story about how Kansas State was the worst college football program in the country. And then Bill Snyder happened, and boy, did things change here in Manhattan. They've been a powerhouse pretty much ever since. 1st and 15 from the 37-yard line. A give to Scadaboo on first down, and Scadaboo with a solid run up to the 30, a pickup of 7 yards on the play. So he gets back the 5 they lost on the procedure penalty, plus 2 more. Linebacker Austin Moore and safety Marquise Siegel team up on the tackle.
ASU's doing a really good job of running, passing, kind of taking advantage of when there's two high safeties, they're running. When it's press, they're getting some man, and Sam Leavitt is just frustrating him with his feet.
Boy, Leavitt has made some big plays, extending plays with his feet. They fake the toss. Leavitt now wants to throw. Sets up, steps up in the pocket, throws deep, and Tyson makes the catch for a touchdown. At the back end of the end zone, Tyson gathered that in just before exiting the end zone, but it looked like he got 1 foot down in the purple of the end zone for his second touchdown reception of the night and his 9th of the season.
I don't know how Kansas State gave that up. That's a post route to Tyson. He's clearly ASU's number 1, number 2, and number 3 passing target. And it was a too high safety look. And the safety just let him get in the back of the end zone. Tyson, 1 foot in the back, stretched out. Phenomenal catch and throw.
The extra point is good by Parker Lewis. And it's a 14-0 Arizona State lead. The Sam Leavitt to Jordan Tyson connection emerging as one of the best in the Big 12 Conference, if not one of the best in the country. As Leavitt now with 2 touchdown passes tonight has 16 for the season, and Tyson now with 9 scoring receptions, 2 of them tonight. In fact, Tyson, Jeff, now has 7 touchdown catches in the last 5 games.
He is on fire. You know, the other thing, if we go back and just kind of, show me some grace and let me get a little football nerdy with you. But ASU's used 2 timeouts. First timeout was on defense and they stopped him. Second timeout was on that 3rd and 1 that kept the drive alive. They changed the play and went to the Wildcat. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was this series that got us a touchdown. So good job coaching by Kenny. And those things don't show up. Again, that little pooch kick.
Yeah, high end-over-end kick that will be taken by Dylan Edwards at about the 15-yard line. And look out, that could be trouble as Edwards explodes out past the 40-yard line to the 42. And I got to be perfectly honest with you, what's your sense of the reasoning for that kind of kickoff?
I wonder, KT, can you check and see if Parker Lewis might have a groin injury or something? Because
he just kicked it, and he took a big blow and made the tackle.
Yeah, I saw him. He's wobbly over there he's talking to Kostas Economopoulos. Dr. Chopper is not here. The other Mayo expert surgeon is here, and he's talking to him right now on the sidelines. But can you check and see on that kickoff, does he have a groin injury or something that would prevent him from letting it go?
That's 2 kickoffs out of 3 where they've kicked that way, and each time Kansas State's gotten good field position. Right now they have great
Kansas State
field
takes
position.
First charge timeout of the half. 30 seconds in late.
And now the Wildcats take a timeout. The fans here, the sold-out crowd in Manhattan, starting to get a little restless as we are taking a timeout here with 14-12 left to play first half. And the visiting Sun Devils with a surprising 14-0 lead over Kansas State as we take a break on the Mountain America Credit Union Sun Devil Radio Network. Sun Devil fans, make sure to catch the re-airing of Sparky's Den with Coach Kenny Dillingham Fridays on Fox 10. The show will re-air in its entirety on Fox 10 Extra at 8 p.m. on Fridays. Then a special 30-minute condensed edition of the show will air immediately following your local news on Fox 10 at 10:30 every Friday. You can catch 2 different versions of Sparky's Den with Coach Kenny Dillingham as ASU with a stunning 14-0 lead over Kansas State here in the early moments of the second quarter. And the Wildcats calling a timeout. They hope they have as much luck with their timeout as the Sun Devils have had with the 2 they've called. You made a great point, Rapper.
But I think this was the difference. I was going to bring it up for the break right there, but this was an error timeout because their offense was either in the wrong personnel group or they were out of time. So this was not a good timeout, and you can see how good ASU's 2 timeouts have been. Hey, quick shout out to Elena Reed and Anthony Abadessa. I'm getting notes from Santan Valley. They had a great wedding tonight, and I doubt they're listening, but go have fun, go dance. Congratulations to the Abadessa family.
1st and 10 from the 42 of K-State. After the good kickoff return by Dylan Edwards. The handoff. Oh, no, it's going to be a option pitch by Avery Johnson.
He pulled up.
And Dylan Edwards pulled up lame, and we're going to get a flag on Ghost Rouser of Arizona State. It was an RPO pitch, an option pitch coming left by Avery Johnson to Dylan Edwards, and Edwards looked like he pulled up limping as he was ready to exit out of bounds, and he got bumped out of bounds. He was still in the field of play when Ghost Rouser hit him, but they're going to call the penalty.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, late hit out of bounds. Number 4, defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
I don't know. From what I saw in that play, it looked like when Rouser hit him, Rouser should have pulled up at that point, but it looked like the hit occurred while Edwards was still in bounds, although he was clearly trying to get out because of the injury he suffered. But the penalty advances the ball to the 42-yard line of Arizona State. 1st and 10, Kansas State. DJ Giddens in the backfield. He gets the toss now, heading to the left, and he gets tackled by Jordan Crook after a gain of 3 yards to the 40. Another good open field tackle by Crook.
I really like how he plays. He's the leading tackler with 4 tackles so far, but just look at his pad level, his feet. Kind of looks like another Manhattan native, Brett Wallerstadt, who's from nearby Manhattan, who had I think Brett had like 130 tackles one season, and first team All Pac-12, and that's just how dominant inside backers play right there.
Crook is from Duncanville, Texas, in the Dallas area. 2nd down and 7 from the 40 of ASU. 14-0 in favor of the Sun Devils. Johnson throwing the slant, has it complete for a first down to the 30. The ball is fumbled and recovered by ASU. Javen Robinson recovers the fumble after Jace Brown had caught the pass and had a first down at the 30-yard line of Arizona State. The ball pops out and Javen Robinson recovers. It is the 2nd turnover forced by this ASU defense in the first half here tonight.
Boy, they're coming off a bye. They're playing sloppy. A good right-handed punch by Shamari Simmons. Simmons punches it free. Tell you what, Shamari Simmons is going to be first team All Big 12.
Boy, what a player he's been.
He is, and he's going to be playing on Sundays. He's just around the ball, makes plays. He's a ball hawk, and I mean, he's had a hand in both of the 2 turnovers tonight. Once he deflected, the other one he punched out.
So the Sun Devils will take over at their 39-yard line, their 2nd takeaway of the evening. 1st and 10, Arizona State. Handoff to Scadaboo as he lowers his shoulder, lowers the boom on a K-State defender, and gets it upfield for 5 yards to the 44-yard line. Scadaboo runs with the mentality of an offensive lineman or a linebacker. He's going to dish out more than he takes in terms of the punishment.
Well, he just squared up. That was an inside. It was a power play, and one of the inside linebackers, number 41, Austin Moore, came up, and Austin Moore got hit and put right on his derriere.
2nd down and 5 from the 44. Tyson motions from right to left in the formation. As Leavitt with a quick throw, a screen to Tyson, far side. Tyson has a first down. And boy, a possible touchdown saving tackle by safety VJ Payne. Or else Tyson might have gone a lot further. As it is, he gets to the 43 and picks up an ASU first down, the Kansas State 43-yard line.
Boy, great block out front by Lee Fatano, just super. He's only missed 1 play in the last 2 years of football because his helmet came off, and he's 20 yards downfield blocking the safety.
Cameron Harpole is in as an extra tight end off play action. Leavitt, straight drop back, being chased out of the pocket, throws downfield, and the pass is incomplete, intended for Tyson. VJ Payne, the safety, was in coverage as Travis Bates, a defensive end, was chasing Leavitt from the rear, pressuring him out of the pocket.
Busted play, rolled to the right, and he finds the receiver. He finds his trusted receiver, Jordan Tyson. Ball's a little bit high. Payne has a chance for an interception. It goes through the hands of Jordan Tyson into the body of Payne, and Payne cannot come up with it.
On 2nd down and 10 from the K-State 43, leading 14-0, the Sun Devils send 3 receivers to the right of the formation. As Leavitt will throw a swing pass to Scadaboo. A good block by Melquan Stovall. And Scadaboo downfield, still on his feet at the 30. Finally tackled it around the 27-yard line by V.J. Payne and Marquise Siegel, the two Kansas State tackles. But it is an Arizona State first down on the completion to Scadaboo.
Yeah, that was a great call by you, Tim, on that block. Stovall threw on that. That was great broadcasting and a great block.
And a pickup on the play of 16 yards for Scadaboo. And the Sun Devils at the 27-yard line of Kansas State with a 1st and 10.
Single high safety. They walk extra guys into the box. You got the pass.
Leavitt throws far side. It's caught by Guillory. He's got a first down before he gets bumped out of bounds at the 16-yard line after an 11-yard gain. Zayshawn Rich, a cornerback, bumped him out, but the Sun Devils on the move at the K-State 16-yard line. Arizona State 14, Kansas State nothing with just under 11 minutes to go first half.
Yeah, too high safety. One of the safeties walks down. The field corner backed up and gave him that little stop route on the outside. ASU takes it for a first down, and that gives Jordan Tyson a breather, and he's back on the field.
Kyson Brown is in at running back. Off play action, Leavitt. He throws a pass that's deflected. Deflected by end Travis Bates. They were trying to set up a screen to the far side of the field, and Bates did a good job to get his hands on it and knock it away. Bates, a sophomore who was an FCS All-American, a freshman All-American last year at Austin Peay.
You know, they have the tight end screen in the outside, and Metayer runs right by Bates. He's hoping Bates thinks he's going to get trapped or kicked out. Bates was able to get vertical and deflected. Third deflected ball by Kansas State.
2nd down and 10 is again a pass, this time to Chamon Metayer, and Metayer is going to go uncontested into the end zone for a Sun Devil touchdown. A tight end screen to Chamon Metayer along the far side. Metayer caught it, turned, and there was nobody between him and the end zone. A 16-yard catch and run touchdown. Sam Leavitt with his 3rd touchdown pass of the first half, his 17th of the season. And for Metayer, it is his 4th touchdown reception of the year and his 2nd in 2 weeks.
Nice call by ASU. They went to the tight end twice. They threw the tight end screen, and they got the field blitz. They threw the screen into the boundary, dialed it upright, got it for a touchdown.
What a stunning turn of events here in Manhattan, Kansas. Timeout with 10:10 to go in the first half. Arizona State 21, Kansas State nothing, as we take a break on the Mountain America Credit Union Sun Devil Radio Network. Sun Devils 61 yards they drive on 7 plays. 2:49 elapsed after the fumble recovery by Javen Robinson, and 2 takeaways by the Arizona State defense has resulted in 2 touchdowns for the Arizona State offense, and a stunning 21-0 Sun Devil lead over Kansas State with still a little less or a little more than 10 minutes to go in the first half.
KT, you had an interesting observation. Let's go down the sidelines for a kind of an up close. What are you seeing with your eyes?
Yeah, it's the ability for Sam. It's almost like tonight he's got eyes in the back of his head. He's really feeling backside pressure. And what I've noticed this year is he's not only fast, but he's just got great functional speed, change of direction, almost like an elite 5-star wide receiver. Kenny Dillingham just went down and talked to the offense, rolling his hands over and over all night long. Keep it up. Don't quit. Keep it going.
I'd be curious to see what they do with kickoffs.
Parker Lewis is going to tee it up right now, Rap, at the 35-yard line, and 2 of the 3 kickoffs have been intentionally short kicks where Lewis only takes a 2-step approach to the ball, but now he's going to line up in normal positioning about 10 yards deep, because as we said, Lewis has been a touchback machine all season long, and hopefully he didn't get his bell rung too badly. He went to the tent after making the tackle on that last short kickoff that was returned by Dylan Edwards, as Devon Rice, a reserve running back, is now the man deep awaiting this kickoff. It's a high end-over-ender, and Rice will let that one hit, and there you go. It's a touchback, and instead of a return out past the 40, K-State will start this possession at its own 25-yard line. The Sun Devils so far in this game have 177 total yards to Kansas State's 43, and a better than 2-to-1 time of possession advantage. The Devils have had the ball for 13.5 minutes, the Wildcats for 6.5.
Yeah, and each team has had the ball 4 times. Sun Devils have 3 touchdowns out of that. Kansas State has a punt, an interception, lost it on downs, and a fumble.
1st and 10 from the 25. Avery Johnson has DJ Giddens with him in the backfield. He gives the ball to Giddens, and Giddens doesn't get a whole lot as he is stood up and stonewalled at around the 22. They're still trying to move the pile forward, and they're going to give him forward progress to the 29-yard line.
That's BS. You know, you talk about player safety, and so he stood up. You don't want offensive linemen coming in and ripping D linemen or D linemen hitting a pile late, and then the referee sits on the official and keeps it stuck in his mouth like chewing tobacco. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, that gives him 4 yards instead of 2. It's 2nd and 6 at the 29-yard line. Again, a pair of tight ends motion from right to left, Swanson and Oakley. As Johnson looks to throw, here comes the pressure. The pass is complete to Garrett Oakley, and he's got a first down out past the 37-yard line. Shamari Simmons on the tackle, but it's a first down on a gain of 8 yards, and kind of a sarcastic cheer from the K-State crowd here.
K-State's going to try to play at tempo now and get roll and see if they can change the pace of this game.
1st and 10 from the 37 off play action. Johnson rolls and now throws deep. He's got a man open, and it's done. It's going to be caught, and it's going to be a Kansas State touchdown for Penn State transfer Dante Cephas. There is a penalty flag down back at the 37-yard line, the line of scrimmage. Boy, that was a beautifully thrown ball by Avery Johnson as he hit Cephas right in stride. But it's going to come back.
Ineligible player downfield on the pass. Number 56, offense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
What was your stat that you wanted added to the
missed opportunities? Kansas State just got a big one in that stat column right now. Andrew Lanegang, a offensive lineman, illegally downfield, and that takes a 63-yard touchdown pass from Johnson to Cephas off the board. Cephas is a transfer from Penn State who has struggled at K-State this year. He's only caught 6 passes all year. That would have been a big number 7, but it comes back as it's 1st and 15 from the 32-yard line. On first down, they hand the ball to Giddens, and Giddens is going to be dropped by Justin Watley, who wrapped him up and dropped him for a loss back to the 31-yard line, a loss of 1.
You talked about Langang being in there. Hadley Panzer was their starting left guard. I didn't see in the beginning if he played or not. He was making his 36th start of the year. So
and Wyatt Thompson, the terrific broadcaster for K-State, told us that Panzer has been dealing with an ankle issue. He's been able to play through it, but that might be the problem with him right now.
Yeah, that's a big loss, and you can see that substitution pattern cost them a touchdown.
2nd down and 16 for the Wildcats. Off play action, Johnson back to pass, steps up into the pocket. He's throwing deep. He's got a man open, but overthrows receiver Ty Bowman inside the Arizona State 30-yard line. Johnson stepped up in the pocket and had a man who had beaten the defense, but overthrew Bowman to set up 3rd and 16.
Yeah, now you bring out your NASCAR crew. You got your rush ends. You got your Clayton Smith is coming in, and this guy's with Prince Dorba. This is big engines come around the edge.
Former Hamilton Husky Trey Spivey is in at a receiver spot for Kansas State on 3rd and 16 from the Wildcats' 31-yard line. Johnson looking toward the sideline. Giddens is the running back to his right. And now he aligns from right to left. As on 3rd down, Johnson tries a pitch to Giddens. He makes the catch, and Giddens breaks free up the near sideline, and Giddens has a first down at the 45-yard line of Arizona State.
Speed option into the boundary. The quarterback is tackled, and he almost, it's like a forward pass or it's not an option. He's in the wrong hand. He push passes it, and he makes it happen.
That's
Great play.
25-yard gain on 3rd and 16. Again, they give it to Giddens, and this time he's dropped for no gain and maybe a loss, as C.J. Fight and Jordan Crook were the primary tacklers. Fight slowed him up. Crook brought him down. And now Crook will come out of there. So too will Caleb McCullough. Jacob Rich Kungaika, the former U of A Wildcat, checks into the lineup for Arizona State. So right now the Devils have Fight and Kangaika at the tackles. Prince Dorba and Clayton Smith are the rush ends. Keyshawn Elliott is back out there. He and Zyrus Fiaseu are the two linebackers. As off play action, Johnson throwing a pass to the near side, complete to Bowman, and Ty Bowman is tackled at the 35-yard line. He's about a yard shy of a first down, a 9-yard gain. It will be 3rd and 1. Boy, that's a missed opportunity for the Sun Devil defense. They had Kansas State in a 3rd and 16, and on that crazy-looking option pitch, DJ Giddens able to break one upfield for 25. Now it's a 3rd and a yard for the Wildcats with 6.5 minutes remaining in the first half. Arizona State leading it 21-0. Johnson out of the shotgun. Gets the snap, looks to throw, gets the pass off, and it's caught by one of the tight ends, and that'll be a first down inside the 25-yard line for Braden Lofton. Lofton is a sophomore from Omaha, makes his 8th reception of the year. Xavion Alford on the tackle. Lofton's been dealing with a foot issue of late, but is on the mend and makes the play there that moves the chains. The ball now at the ASU 25.
ASU came with the blitz, so it's a hot adjustment to the tight end. Rauser's a safety. He gets over there a little bit late. They dialed that up the way, ASU dialed it up the way they wanted. Rauser just a little late reading the hot.
Now a play action pass, and that's caught out in the far flat by Jace Brown for a gain of about 5 yards to the 19-yard line. Tackled by Javen Robinson. Boy, that pass almost intercepted. If it was, it would have been smooth sailing up the far sideline for Robinson. As Fiaseu comes out of the lineup and Jordan Crook is back in, as K-State with its best drive of the game, a drive perpetuated by that huge 3rd down conversion by DJ Giddens. Now they have two tight ends in the backfield. Joe Jackson is the running back. Off play action, Johnson throwing and has his tight end, and it's again completed to Lofton, and he has a first down at the 5-yard line. After being tackled by Ghost Rauser, it's 1st and goal. K-State at the ASU 5. And the Kansas State offense has found a rhythm on this possession after that big play by Giddens kept the drive alive.
Yeah, they fake to give up the middle. That brings the linebackers up. Then the tight end runs vertically right down the hash. And a nice throw by Johnson, the quarterback.
1st and goal. Again, two tight ends in the backfield with Jackson. Johnson will flake the give, keep it himself, slips out of one tackle, but Crook is able to bring him down after a short gain of 1 to the 4. Jordan Crook playing an outstanding ball game here tonight. Avery Johnson, an excellent runner and one of the fastest quarterbacks in the country, 4.3 speed, unable to find much room there.
I got to look at on the field. I went down and watched both quarterbacks. Avery Johnson looks like a quarterback. Sam Leavitt is big. I mean, he is. His leg definition, his muscle, his time in the weight room, he just looks a lot stronger.
Sun Devils getting some late defensive subs on the field on 2nd and goal from the 4. Snap to Johnson. He fakes the give to Giddens, looking to throw, gets the pass off for the end zone, and it is incomplete, intended for Garrett Oakley in the back of the end zone.
Robinson in coverage.
Javen Robinson was the defender, and Oakley got his fingertips on it but couldn't quite haul it down as he was heading across the field toward the near corner of the end zone in the back of the end zone. Incomplete. It will set up 3rd and goal from the 4.
Looked like Javen Robinson got one hand in there and hit the tight end's hands before the ball came in and disrupted the catch.
Two tight ends in the backfield with Giddens now as Johnson on 3rd down will keep it himself, looking to run, and down he goes. Drop for a loss. Oh my goodness. That tackle made by Caleb McCullough at the 7-yard line. Johnson dropped for a loss of 3, and Kansas State will have to settle for a field goal try.
I think it was Fasu that got on the on the outside of that play, blew it up, and forced the quarterback inside.
So a win for the Sun Devil defense to hold K-State to a field goal attempt. Their kicker is a good one, Chris Tennant, 14 of 16 on the year. This will be a chippy from 24 yards, and the snap is bobbled by the holder, and Tennant is brought down for a loss at the 16-yard line. and the Boo Birds are letting it fly here in Manhattan. Oh my goodness.
Tim Healy with the chippy jinx. It's a chippy, chip right on the ground.
The holder is the punter, Simon McClanahan, and he could not handle the snap. And the Sun Devils hold K-State without points after they had gotten the ball inside the 5-yard line. Timeout with 2:56 to go till halftime. Our score, Arizona State 21, Kansas State nothing. This is the Mountain America Credit Union Sun Devil Radio Network. Say, while we have a moment, I want to extend our condolences, and I know Rapper and KT and Sean Cressman would echo these sentiments. One of the all-time greatest Sun Devils, Rudy Burgos, lost his wife of 58 years last night as Rudy's wife, Kathy, passed away from complications following colon surgery. And we extend our condolences and send our prayers and thoughts along to Rudy and his family. I think you can probably count on the fingers of one hand that the number of games that Rudy Burgos has missed, Rapper, in like the last, 50 years or so. He is one of the all-time great Sun Devils. We visited with him on several of the road trips this year. He's a regular at practice and at Camp Tonazona. And our thoughts and prayers are with you, Rudy. Our deepest condolences on the loss of your wife, Kathy. The love of his life, as he said, 58 years they were married.
I feel, it's horrible. I mean, his daughter Tina, 2 sons, they were all able to be there. And I think the thing that defines Rudy is he just cared about people. Obviously, he loved his wife dearly, but he cared about ASU players. It's one thing to be a fan and you like to win and be in front, but when you're around for 5 decades, you care about the players.
After the botched field goal attempt by K-State, Arizona State takes over at its own 15-yard line as Scadaboo gets the handoff on first down and gets it upfield for a pickup of close to 4 yards on the play before he gets dropped. And up off the bottom of the pile once again is Austin Romaine. The first hit came from cornerback Jacob Parrish. And it's a gain of 4, 2nd down and 6. With 2:35 and counting remaining in the first half. ASU 21, Kansas State nothing. Looked like the Wildcats were going to get on the board, but they couldn't crunch it in, get it in the end zone, and then they botched a field goal try. Scadaboo, another good run upfield. He's close to 5 yards on that carry. He's out to the 24. He'll be a yard short of the first down, setting up 3rd and 1. As the tackle was made there by safety Kobe McAllister.
Yeah, that was a nice block by Metayer. The tight end, he kicked the defensive end out, and that'll be the 2-minute timeout. Metayer looks like he's a little bit sore, though, coming. He's at see him right now at midfield?
Yeah.
Walking off a little.
He's walking very slowly along the 15-yard line. Sam Leavitt over to say, "What's up, bud? How you feeling?" But
I wonder why that we have to use the term ginger. Why are we against the Irish people when we say he's walking gingerly?
He's walking slow.
He's walking
blonde,
slower
than he usually does, I guess.
Dark hair.
Trying to summarize it in one word as we reach the 2-minute timeout here in Manhattan. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. A first half dominated by the visitors from Tempe. It's Arizona State 21, Kansas State nothing. Now these messages on the Mountain America Credit Union Sun Devil Radio Network. Well, before the break, we told you that one number 7 for the Devils, tight end Chamon Metayer, was walking gingerly. Some concerning news. The other number 7, safety Shamari Simmons, just walked to the locker room, and a Sun Devil attendant was holding his helmet. So we'll keep an eye on that, as on 3rd and 1, Scadaboo looking for the first down, just able to nudge the ball past the 25-yard line to the 26 and pick up the first down for Arizona State. As the Sun Devils move the chains with 1:53 left in the first half. Tackle made by cornerback Jacob Parrish, but whistle blows here. Did somebody call a timeout? It looks like Jacob Parrish, who made that tackle, is being told he has to leave the game. I don't know if his helmet came off or what, but in any event, Parrish is heading toward the near sideline, and actually he's being attended to, but it looks like by 2 people who look like they're members of K-State's training staff, so maybe he got shaken up. In any event, it's a Sun Devil first down at the 26 of Arizona State. ASU leads 21-0 late first half. On first down, Sam Leavitt to throw to the near side of the field, and it's complete for a first down to Tyson, who gets bumped out of bounds by safety VJ Payne, but not before he picks up a first down on the play to the 44-yard line, an 18-yard gain. Boy, what a first half for Jordan Tyson now. 5 receptions, 63 yards, and a pair of touchdown catches.
ASU got this with just under 3 minutes, and you can see they're not in a hurry. They want to make sure Kansas State doesn't get the ball, but they're also trying to set themselves up for some kind of attempted scores.
Swing pass to Scadaboo out on the far side, and Scadaboo with good yardage before he is driven into the Arizona State bench, and has some words for the Kansas State defenders who took him on that ride deep into the bench, one of them being safety VJ Payne. And the other K-State defender over there was linebacker Desmond Purnell. It's a gain of 7, 2nd and 3 at midfield with 1:32 remaining in the half. Don't forget, the Sun Devils will get the second half kickoff. They won the toss at game start, elected to defer. On 2nd down and 3, rolling right. Leavitt wanting to take a shot, now being pressured and throws it downfield, incomplete. Tried to get Tyson right in front of the K-State bench. For a moment I thought Sam was going to throw it away, but he had Tyson there and tried to get it in a small window, but couldn't do so. The defender on the play was Marquise Siegel.
That was good coverage by K-State, nothing there. Cam Scadaboo went in the flat to the right. They did a nice job covering him. That's just a defensive win, and Sam gave his guy a chance. That's all you can do.
So a big 3rd down play here. The Devils want to keep the ball for the rest of the first half. 3rd and 3 from midfield. ASU 21, Kansas State nothing. 1:24 left in the half. Stovall in motion. Leavitt throwing to the near side to Scadaboo. Stovall trying to throw a block. Scadaboo breaks free and gets the first down, still on his feet, and finally brought down inside the 40-yard line at the Kansas State 37. A 13-yard gain, and the Devils indeed move the chains and get a big first down.
Yeah, he also stayed in bounds, which is, I think now if you're ASU, you want to get out of bounds, but just his awareness, his situational awareness is just solid as a player. They're going to take Scad out. 20 on the play clock. There's 2 play clocks in this stadium. They're easy to find right above the goalpost, about 35 rows up. And
Scadaboo 3 receptions, 35 yards tonight. 1st and 10, they spotted at the 38 of K-State. Tyson Brown's in at running back. Off the play fake, Leavitt again wanting to throw deep, pressured out of the pocket and just flips it away. As that's happened several times tonight, where you get the sense Leavitt was looking to take a shot deep, but Travis Bates is a young man who's been applying a lot of blindside pressure on Leavitt on those situations, forcing him to roll out, scramble out of the pocket, and that time Sam just had to chuck it away.
You almost got to think Kansas State's going to start using their timeouts here. Kansas State has 2 timeouts left, 44 on the clock.
Tyson Brown remains in at running back on 2nd down and 10 from the K-State 38-yard line. 2 receivers to either side of the formation. Leavitt under pressure gets the pass off, and it's caught by Tyson inside the 30, and Jordan Tyson has a first down to the 28. It's a 10-yard gain. Defending on the play was cornerback Keenan Garber. So the Sun Devils move the chains, clock ticking.
Metayer's out wide. I'm sorry, Tim. Metayer's out wide. Tyson's in the slot. That puts him on the safety.
Let's see where Leavitt looks on this first down with pressure coming. He just throws it up for grabs, and luckily the pass falls incomplete on the far side of the field. Leavitt was backpedaling. Remember last week he had pressure coming in his face, and I thought one of the best passes he's thrown all year was the one against UCF. He hit Tyson on a post corner route with a guy coming in on his face and with Sam backpedaling while he threw.
That's great. He's just got a good snap to his wrist. Troy O'Meary was on that far side, and you can see just the disconnect between the two on the route and the throw.
2nd down and 10 from the 27 of K-State with 22 seconds remaining in the first half. ASU leading at 21-0. Off play action, Leavitt rolling to his right, now reverses his field a la Fran Tarkenton, coming to his left and scrambling, and he's going to be dropped for a loss back at the 32-yard line. He loses yardage and he loses time, as the time coming off the clock, we're down to 6 seconds remaining in the half, and Kenny Dillingham has to burn his final timeout as Desmond Purnell dropped Leavitt for the loss. And we have a Sun Devil injured inside the 5-yard line. And it looks like tight end Chamon Metayer, who, as we mentioned at the 2-minute timeout, was walking slowly off the field like he had been shaken up. And now he's on one knee inside the 5-yard line in discomfort.
Looks like he's just wiggling his left ankle.
The clock was stopped inadvertently. Arizona State takes their second charge timeout of the half. There should be 3 seconds on the game clock.
Instead of 6 seconds, they're moving the clock.
Correction, this is Arizona State's third charge timeout of the half.
That's what I thought. Figured the Sun Devils had burned their last timeout just now, and they did.
Get a field goal attempt, though. Right?
It'll be a long one. It'll be, I would imagine it will be Parker Lewis, who hasn't kicked a field goal this year. His only field goal attempt since he took over those responsibilities 2 weeks ago at Oklahoma State was a 47-yarder that he missed in Stillwater. He did not attempt a field goal in last week's come-from-behind win over UCF.
About a 49-yarder here.
And it's not going to be Parker Lewis. It looks like it's going to be the walk-on kicker, Karsten Kiefer, who is going to attempt this field goal. And it's going to be a 50-yarder from the far hash to end the first half. Boy, it's too bad because the Devils were in really good field position for at least a shorter field goal attempt, but that scramble by Leavitt took a lot of time off the clock, and he lost about 10 yards in the process. So Karsten Kiefer, who is 0 for 1 in field goals this year, will try one from 50 to win the half. No, it's a fake. Kiefer has the flip, and he's going to run with the football, but he gets tackled at the 35-yard line to end the first half. The Sun Devils were hoping some trickery might fool the K-State Wildcats and produce some magic, but not so. Marquise Siegel was able to bring Karsten Kiefer down to end the first half. As we check in with Kevin Turner, he's standing by with Coach Kenny Dillingham.
Coach just stole a couple of possessions that led to 14 points, and Sam Leavitt is playing out of his mind.
Yeah, he's playing well. Defense is creating takeaways. We're stopping the run. We got to come out in the second half and play with that same level of passion because this is a good program, and they're going to come out fiery.
Pretty impressed with your offensive line on a couple of those series, giving Sam a clean pocket, especially on that last touchdown.
No question. Our O-line is playing really good, especially in pass pro. We got to get the run game going a little bit in the second half. Try to go on some longer drives here and continue to play good defense.
All right, Coach. Thanks a lot. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
All right, thanks to Kevin Turner and to head coach Kenny Dillingham for visiting with us just before halftime. And Rapper, what a first half by Coach Dillingham's team. They're pitching a shutout on the road, 21-0 at Kansas State.
Yeah, I think you look at all the stats you want, but the biggest thing to me was the drive chart. ASU had the ball 5 times. They put up 3 touchdowns, 1 punt. They lost it on downs with 66 yards rushing. So lots of stats to go through. Good information at halftime. We'll see you back here for the second half in Manhattan.
And ASU outgaining K-State 222 yards to 108 and outscoring them 21-0 in the first half. And the Sun Devils will get the second half kickoff. Luke Lipinski will have our halftime report from our Phoenix Network studios after these messages on the Mountain America Credit Union Sun Devil Radio Network. Sun Devils sending their kickoff return unit onto the field to start the second half. And
what's been your biggest takeaway, Tim? You're always the play-by-play guy. Let me throw you into the color booth.
Just on a general sense, I'm just really impressed with how poised and how confident this team looks playing in such a challenging environment. K-State has not lost a home game this year. They have rabid fans here. It's a sellout crowd of around 50,000. The stadium's packed with purple. And the Devils have played an extremely poised first half of football here against Kansas State. And they need more of that here in the second half to put this one away. And boy, if they can do that, what a game it sets up next Saturday when BYU comes to town. BYU, by the way, plays the other team from the Sunflower State. The Kansas Jayhawks are in Provo to play later tonight as the second half kickoff sails out of the end zone on the fly for a touchback. And I believe Simon McClanahan, their punter, is also their kickoff man, or at least he was there. And he booms that one through, and so the Devils will start from their 25-yard line. First half numbers for Cam Scadaboo: 11 carries, 47 yards, 3 receptions for 35 more. So Scadaboo is up over 80 total yards in just one half of action here this evening.
ASU's done a good job running the football, right? This is a team that gives up under 100 yards per game. The Sun Devils have managed 71 yards on the ground already.
Devils will be going left to right across your radio dial here in the third quarter. 1st and 10, and Scadaboo gets the handoff, trying to head left, and he's not going to get much as he gets piled up at around the 27-yard line. It's a gain of between 1 and 2 yards on the play. Not a whole lot there for Scat on 1st down. Among the tacklers for K-State is Travis Bates, the defensive end, who's done a good job for them pressuring Leavitt tonight.
You know, if you're ASU offensive lineman, go ahead and move the pile. Remember that one play earlier we were frustrated with Kansas State?
Yeah.
You know, extending it. And
if they're going to let you do it, do it.
Right.
Gain of 2, so it'll be 2nd down and 8. Marquiston Douglas is in as a tight end for ASU, aligned on the left side of the formation. Again, Scadaboo gets the call, and again, nothing doing this time as he's dropped for no gain. As a couple of linebackers, Desmond Purnell and Austin Romaine, make the tackle. Romaine is K-State's leading tackler on the season. That play loses a yard to the 21 and sets up 3rd and 9, or to the 26, I should say, and sets up 3rd and 9.
Yeah, Justice James, the corner, was matched up one-on-one with Tyson, and Kansas State was playing the run on that. They had 8 or 9 in the box. They loaded it up, played man-on-man, and Sun Devils elected to run into that.
Let's see what the Devils have dialed up on this 3rd and long as Leavitt looks to throw. He gets the pass off, complete to Tyson. 1st down and more to the 40, to midfield. Tyson to the Kansas State 40, to the 35, and finally tackled at around the 33-yard line of the Wildcats. Holy moly.
They do such a good job. Again, though, they put Tyson in the slot. He runs a little crosser. He's the second guy through the zone from right to left, and 5-yard catch turns into about a 35-yard run.
More like a 41-yard catch and run to Jordan Tyson.
Tim, could you imagine if there was 2 receivers that really gave a 1-2 punch on the outside?
Toss sweep left to Kyson Brown, and Brown bounces off tacklers and makes a nice run down to around the 25, 26-yard line. They're going to say he's out at the 26, a gain of 7, bumped out by safety VJ Payne. And by the way, Jordan Tyson now 132 receiving yards on 7 catches and a pair of touchdowns. And to your point, Rapper, if they had another Jordan Tyson, holy moly, this offense would be so.
Oh, it'd be crazy. I mean, especially with Scat. Scat now is over 5,000 yards for his career.
2nd down and 4. The give to Kyson Brown, and Brown will be about a yard short of the 1st down as he runs off left tackle for 3. And it'll set up a 3rd and about a yard. Austin Moore on the tackle, the will linebacker out of Lewisburg, Kansas. 2-time All Big 12 performer for the Wildcats. So it'll be a 3rd and 1 at the 24 of K-State. Sun Devils with the opening possession of the 3rd quarter. Arizona State leading 21-0.
You know, this is almost 2-down territory, though, if you're ASU, the way their kicking game has gone. And Emmett Boley's in at right guard as well. You mentioned that earlier in the game. He's back.
So Boley at right guard, and I think they're going to get Maxie Hanachor. It looked like he lifted a hand just prematurely, and that's a big, costly penalty because
Prior to the ball being snapped, false start, number 58, offense, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
So 3rd and 1 now becomes a much less manageable 3rd and 6 at the 29 of K-State. Oh, those details.
Yeah, and now you're able to take your run defense out and you're bringing in a bunch of lighter bodies that are going to, you know, your pass rush specialists. You play pass here. Now, ASU on 3rd and 6 earlier in the game, Tim, they ran the ball with Scat, so it's not out of the question to give it to them.
Devils are 7 of 9 on 3rd down tonight. Let's see what they have up their sleeve here as they throw for the end zone, and it's incomplete. Intended for Xavier Guillory. Actually, it was on the far side of the field at around the 5-yard line. As Leavitt's pass to Guillory incomplete, and Guillory was covered well by cornerback Jacob Parrish. And so on comes a field goal attempt here, and this time it'll be Parker Lewis On the 50-yard try that ended the first half, they tried to fake it and toss to the kicker, Karsten Kiefer. Didn't fool the Wildcats, so now it'll be Lewis. He missed a 47-yarder at Oklahoma State 2 weeks ago. That's his only other field goal try of the year. This will be from 47. It's got the distance. It's on its way, and the kick is good. Parker Lewis with his first field goal as a Sun Devil, and he gets a big reception from his teammates and coaches on the sideline as he has increased the Sun Devil lead to 24-0 over Kansas State with 11 minutes to go in the third quarter as we step aside for a break here on the Mountain America Credit Union Sun Devil Radio Network. Resolution Copper sees the value beyond the copper. Responsible mining is essential to Arizona's economy and to America's future. Learn more at resolutioncopper.com.
Speaking of
Rapper, I was just going to say that field goal I think is almost as important for the Sun Devils' sense of self-belief and perception as much as it is 3 valuable extra points you put on the board here.
Yeah, and it kind of closes part of your playbook for you, right? You're not forced to go for it on 4th and 1 if you need to. So people got to remember though, Parker Lewis kicked at USC.
That's the point. You're right. He was 26 of 35 2 years ago for the Trojans.
He's kicked in big games. He's looking around here going, "Hey guys, nothing personal, but we're out in the farm fields of a state that's called Sunflower, and it's not snowing, so I think I can hit this."
Devon Rice, reserve running back, is back deep to await Lewis's kickoff.
So did you call them the Sunflower State?
That's what it is known as, the Sunflower State. Some call it the Jayhawk State. I don't think that term is well received in this burg, however.
You think they'd be like they'd be fighting Nebraska for the all-beef state? The T-bone, ribeye. I'm getting hungry now.
Lewis with the kickoff. This will be returnable. Rice will field at the 2-yard line. Heads up field. He's to the 20, and he gets out to around the 27 or 28-yard line. A decent return by Devon Rice.
That's kind of like the lost art in college football. Kickoff return blocking. You don't see that much anymore.
Tate Romney was one of those down on special teams to assist on the tackle for Arizona State. So too was backup safety Kamari Wilson. And so the Wildcats will go to work from their 28-yard line, trailing 24-0. Avery Johnson, 9 of 14 so far tonight, 80 yards, 1 interception. DJ Giddens has 8 carries for 30 yards, 25 of them coming on 1 play. 1st and 10 from the 28. Johnson off play action, throwing the deep ball to the near side of the field and overthrows his intended receiver, Jace Brown, with Javen Robinson in coverage. And Rapper, you've talked a lot this year about opposing defense or offenses targeting Javen Robinson quite a bit.
Yeah, they've gone at him, and he did a nice job in coverage that time, stride for stride. But if you look at the 2 corners, if you got Keith Abney on one side, Javon on the other, you're going to go after Javon. And we've also seen LaTerrence Welch, LT Welch, make a lot of big plays this year. We haven't seen him much tonight, but he's a player.
On 2nd down, the handoff to Giddens, and Giddens with a good run off left tackle gets out to around the 35-yard line. A gain of 7 before Shamari Simmons brings him down. That'll set up 3rd and 3.
Good to see Shamari. We're a little bit worried. He went into halftime.
Both number 7s got us worried, right?
7s were limping. Shamari went into the locker room with 2 minutes left to go while ASU had the ball. So, they might have just given him a break or put an IV in him or just let him rest a little bit. But that was a good use of time by the medical staff to get him a couple extra minutes.
3rd and 3 from the 35 of K-State. Giddens, the running back. Johnson to throw. Plenty of time. Throws deep down the middle, and it's incomplete. He was trying to get Jace Brown on a deep post, and that time they were throwing against Keith Abney, and it's incomplete. 3 and out, and K-State is going to have to punt the ball with the ball situated on their end of the field at the 35-yard line.
Yeah, I kind of feel like they had Brown on that one, didn't you, Tim?
I did.
Inside post or a go, real vertical route. And
he had 2 receivers in that series open and was unable to connect with either one of them. Melquan Stovall back awaiting Simon McClanahan's punt, and he gets off a dandy. Oh, he drives this one back at the 10-yard line. Stovall fields it and is able to get up to around the 17 on the return. But what a punt by Simon McClanahan, who is a redshirt freshman from Omaha, Millard South High School. That punt 55 yards, Stovall with about a 7-yard return. Timeout on the field, 9:51 to go third quarter. Our score, Arizona State 24, Kansas State nothing. This is the Mountain America Credit Union Sun Devil Radio Network. Beat the heat at Circle K. Enjoy a Polar Pop or Froster for only 79 cents all year long. Head to your local Circle K to take advantage of this refreshing deal. Want to give a couple of quick shout outs to other Sun Devil sports in action today, as the Arizona State women's basketball team in the Breon January Classic at Desert Financial Arena. Natasha Adair's Sun Devils defeat SMU today 80-73, and the ASU women will be back on the floor tomorrow to host former Pac-12 rival Oregon State, the Oregon State Beavers at ASU. I believe that's a 2:30 tip-off tomorrow afternoon, and Jeff Munn and Maura McHugh will have all the action for you on the Sun Devil Radio Network in 1060 AM. And how about the Arizona State women's volleyball team? I think their record is now 26-2. They posted their 14th consecutive match victory today, sweeping Cincinnati in 3 sets in Cincinnati. J.J. Van Niel has done an absolutely remarkable job turning around the fortunes of Sun Devil volleyball in just 2 years' time. Kind of reminds me of a football coach at Arizona State that's done a pretty good job of a turnaround the last 2 years.
Fun to watch those other sports do well, and I always like wrestling. I think what Zeke does without a lot of resources is awesome, watching the ASU wrestlers.
We got a lot of good coaches at this school. Sun Devils go to work from their 17-yard line, leading 24-0 here in the third quarter. Off play action, Leavitt with time to throw, throwing to the near side of the field, and that pass is almost intercepted, intended for Xavier Guillory. Jacob Parrish was defending. Actually, there were 2 defenders. Safety Josh Fabris, I should say, Jack Fabris, was blanketing along with Jacob Parrish. They had Guillory covered. Parrish got his hands on that ball but couldn't hold on to it. And it's 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, he kind of forced it. One of the few he forced. Post corner route to the far side.
On 2nd down and 10 from the 17. Hand off to Scadaboo, and Scadaboo just taking it right up the middle and not finding much room to run. Is brought down after only a 2-yard gain at the 19. And that will set up a 3rd down and 8 for ASU.
Was that Payne, the safety that stepped in on that? Payne stepped down late. He lined up deep, creeped up, and was able to get involved in the run game.
Big 3rd down for Kansas State to try to get the ball back here. A little over 9 minutes to go in the third quarter. Sun Devils lead 24-0. Kyson Brown is in at running back now for Arizona State on this 3rd down and 8. Stovall motions to the right. Leavitt looks to his left, throws it complete to Brown, and Kyson Brown has a 1st down out past the 30-yard line to the 33. And it's a Sun Devil 1st down. After a pickup of 14 yards on the play, Marquise Siegel, the safety, in on the tackle.
Jordan Tyson lined up wide left. The linebackers looking at Tyson and Metayer, and then they leaked out the running back vertically down the field on the left side. Nice throw by Leavitt. Good pickup, good catch, 1st down.
Tyson lined up to the right side. Guillory split left. They hand it to Brown. Kyson heading left, but that tough K-State run defense isn't going to give up much. In fact, they stopped Brown for no gain. He could not get the edge on the left side as the combo of linebacker Desmond Purnell and linebacker Austin Moore teamed up to make the tackle. And
look like Moore gets up. He's up late, and the training staff is out. They're going to attend to him. Moore's going to walk off with the training staff, but he looks like he's in pretty good shape, moving well. And
he's walking just fine. It might be a shoulder issue, but he is their number 2 tackler. And as we mentioned earlier, last year he was an honorable mention for the Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year and has been a 2-time all-conference pick at Kansas State. 2nd down and 10. No gain on that last run by Brown.
Metayer's been a little quiet. Let's see if they don't go back to him.
Tyson in motion.
Man-to-man coverage.
Off play action, Leavitt with time delivers over the middle. It's complete to Jordan Tyson. He was well covered, but made the catch anyway and picks up the first down at the 43-yard line. Safety V.J. Payne was in coverage and was draped on his back, but Tyson able to make the play, and now Payne has to come out of the lineup as he lost his helmet.
Jordan Tyson's confidence just seems, I mean, he was already confident, but the last couple of weeks he's just taken it to a new level.
He's threatening to be like an all Pac-12 or all Big 12 receiver. He's got 8 catches for 143 yards and 2 touchdowns tonight. 1st and 10. Ball still in Sun Devil territory near the 44. The give to Scadaboo, and Scadaboo gets out to about the 46-yard line. It's only a pickup of 2. Scat was close to breaking that one for a lot further, but held to a 2-yard gain as the safety Kobe McAllister made the tackle.
Yeah, that was really close to coming out the gates because they blitzed. ASU ran right into the blitz. Scat almost able to bust free of that. And if your free safety is making the tackle, or your strong safety is making the tackle, you know there's not much left from a defensive standpoint behind him.
3 free receivers to the right on 2nd and 8. Metayer now motions to the left side. Off the fake toss, Leavitt flares it out to the far side to Scadaboo, and Scadaboo lowers his head and drives forward and gets the first down into K-State territory at the 45-yard line of the Wildcats.
You know what he does so well is he decides quickly what he's going to do. After he catches this swing pass, puts his foot in the ground.
Decisive is what you're saying.
His brain is, he makes the right decision very, very quickly.
Kind of reminds me of my granddaughter. She knows exactly what she likes and what she doesn't
and she
want.
knows what you're going to give her.
That's exactly right.
And it's right now you're going to give it to her.
Here's a toss to Kyson Brown heading left, and Brown able to pick up some decent yardage, turning the left corner before he was driven out of bounds in front of the Arizona State bench at the 44-yard line, but that's a pickup of close to 6 yards. Cornerback Jacob Parrish was there to bump Kyson out of bounds.
This is a 8-play drive so far that's taken almost 4 minutes off the clock.
I was just going to say, at the very least, the Devils are taking a lot of time off the clock with a 24-0 lead here in the 3rd quarter. You'd love to get points out of it, but part of the mission's been accomplished, or is being accomplished, just by possessing the football. 2nd down and 4 from the 40.
Blitz.
Again, play action. They throw to Tyson. Tyson has a first down and still on his feet inside the 25-yard line. He fumbles at the 23-yard line. And we're trying to see who has it. The Kansas State players say they've got it.
And Jordan Tyson came out early, takes his helmet off. He is mad at himself.
And that's not encouraging, and that indeed indicates that Kansas State has the football.
Fumble recovered by the defense. First down, Kansas State.
Oh, my goodness.
The ASU calls a wide receiver boundary screen against blitz coverage. Tyson does not have, he's stumbling, but the ball security, the ball's out away from his rib cage.
Austin Romaine, their #1 tackler on the season, kind of reached in and popped that ball out of there as Tyson was sort of going free and easy in terms of how he was carrying the ball at the end of that run. So the Devils turn it over and give it to Kansas State at the Wildcat 22-yard line as we take a timeout with 5:15 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Our score, ASU 24, Kansas State nothing. This is the Mountain America Credit Union Sun Devil Radio Network. Score big with Venezia's New York-style pizza. Visit us at 7 Valley locations, the East and West concessions at Mountain America Stadium, or swing by Pizza Presto at Sun Devil Marketplace before the big game. Every bite is as satisfying as a Sun Devil win. Order now at Venezias.com. That was only the 3rd lost fumble this season by the Sun Devils. They came into this game tied for 10th in the FBS for the fewest lost fumbles this year.
You know, they've only put the ball on the ground 4 times, so they've fumbled 4 times, lost 3, but they've only put it down 4 times. I mean,
that's pretty remarkable this late in the season. But Jordan Tyson had a big first down and just was trying to get more yardage, but he was carrying the ball rather loosely, a little bit away from the body. And linebacker Austin Romaine came in and just punched it out. And the Wildcats recovered. And now they will get the ball trailing 24-0. But again, as disappointing as the turnover is, the one bit of good news. The Devils, as Jeff said, they took, what, about 4 or 5 minutes?
4:36 off, 60 yards, and 9-play drive.
So the clock is already down to 5:15 remaining in the third, and ASU still pitching a 24-0 shutout. K-State starts from its 22-yard line. 1st and 10 as the tight end Garrett Oakley goes in motion from left to right, as Johnson hands the ball off to DJ Giddens, and Giddens gets about 4 on the play.
Oh,
my
no.
goodness. Jeff Clark of ASU just threw a punch at a Kansas State player and has drawn a flag. He punched air, but he definitely threw a punch, and to make matters worse, there's a Sun Devil down injured on the play. Jeff Clark, the transfer from Louisville, looked like in frustration at the end of that play, got up and just took a swing. He didn't hit anybody, but
After the play
it's
was
the
over,
effort.
unsportsmanlike conduct, number 5, Arizona State. This is his first unsportsmanlike conduct foul of the game. It's a 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
Devils haven't committed a lot of penalties lately, but it seems like when they do, they're doozies. That's the unofficially, that is the 4th penalty of the night on the Sun Devils, and I think that might be, it's Justin Watley, who was the injured player. Watley did spend time in the injury tent earlier in this game, and the transfer from Cincinnati is up in a seated position at around the Kansas State 25-yard line. Members of the medical staff are out to have a look at him. Head coach Kenny Dillingham is right there as well.
You know, that's the second 15-yard variety penalty. Remember, Ghost Rouser hit a player out of bounds earlier.
Yeah. Watley is up, but he's needing assistance to walk over. It looks like he's walking okay, but he does have his arms around 2 members of the Sun Devil medical staff heading over, and they'll probably take him right to that injury tent. And meanwhile, the silly penalty by Jeff Clark has advanced the ball to the 41-yard line of Kansas State and gives them an automatic first down.
41-yard line.
Man. Wildcats at the line of scrimmage. Avery Johnson in the shotgun. DJ Giddens to his left. They hand the ball to Giddens heading right, and he's got some room. 50, 45, 40, and is finally brought down from behind and around the 32-yard line. Xavion Alford and defensive end Clayton Smith running down the play and catching Giddens after a huge gain on the play. 27-yard pickup.
Smart. They ran right where Watley was. Jacob Richkin-Geika is in there over right guard, and they got a nice crease.
1st and 10 at the Arizona State 32. Johnson rolling to his right, now sets up to throw downfield. He's got a man open, but it's incomplete. He had Jace Brown open, and a marvelous play by Xavion Alford, the safety, who swooped in from the field side to bat that ball away. Brown had a step on the defense, but Alford saves the day for Arizona State.
Yeah, again, I think a couple of times now when they go look back at this tape, Avery Johnson's late with the ball. You know, they had a wide open guy in the end zone, but the ball was late, forcing the receiver to choke it down a little bit.
So it's 2nd and 10 from the ASU 32-yard line for Kansas State. Giddens lines up in a pistol look behind Johnson. Johnson will keep it running to the right, and he is dragged down by Cyrus Fiaseu at around the 29-yard line. After a gain on the play of about 4 yards, it will set up a 3rd down for K-State. They'll mark it at the 29 of Arizona State. It'll be a 3rd and 7, so officially a 3-yard gain for Avery Johnson. And so far tonight, rushing-wise, Johnson 4 carries for a net of 5 yards.
They almost got as many yards on that one long run as they did the entire game. 69 yards total for K-State.
On 3rd down, the give is to Giddens. Big hole up the middle, 15 to the 10, and he is brought down just inside the 10-yard line is DJ Giddens. Boy, a huge hole opened right up the middle of the Sun Devil defense, and Giddens rumbles to a 1st down at the 10-yard line, and it's 1st and goal, Kansas State. As the Sun Devils get a bunch of defensive subs in there, 5 different players checking in, among them Prince Dorba, Jeff Clark, who committed that penalty at the beginning of the drive. Caleb McCullough's in there with linebacker Jordan Crook as well. First and goal at the 10. Johnson out of the shotgun once again. There's the snap, looks to throw. Now he'll run, and he'll run right up the middle and into the end zone for the first Kansas State score of the night. A 10-yard run by Avery Johnson, and that for Johnson is his 5th rushing touchdown of the season. And K-State is on the board with 2:51 remaining in the third quarter.
Yeah, they'll go for 2 here, but a quarterback draw. Nice job. Avery Johnson was the #1 dual threat quarterback 2 years ago, coming out of high school, and showed off pretty good wheels. Class of 2023, #1 dual threat quarterback.
From Mays High School in Wichita, Kansas, which is about a 2-hour drive south of here. And indeed, as Rapper said, the Wildcats will go for 2. And now a whistle blows, and once again, Kenny Dillingham
Arizona
will use a
State takes
timeout.
their first charge timeout of the half.
So the Sun Devils use their first timeout, with Kansas State prepared to go for 2 in this now 24-6 ball game. And Kansas State able to turn the Sun Devils' first and only turnover of the game into points for them. This drive was set up by Jordan Tyson's fumble at the end of a catch and run that would have given the Devils a first down inside the 25-yard line of K-State and put them in position for almost a knockout punch type of score. But the fumble gives Kansas State renewed life, and they drive it down the field and get on the board. And there's still plenty of time left in this game with 2:51 remaining in the third quarter.
A couple little mental lapses, right? You had the fumble, and then you had the 15-yard punch thrown by Clark on this drive.
Yep.
80-yard drive approximately, and
them there things tend to add up.
Yep. Missed opportunities is what my friend calls them on the stat sheet.
So now it's the 2-point conversion try as Johnson will flip it, an underhand flip to Giddens, and he is dropped. He actually fumbled the football, and Arizona State recovered.
That should be it should be, if it's a shovel pass, it is a incomplete pass.
I think Prince Dorba ended up with the football as Johnson faked a handoff and then delivered almost an underhanded flip forward to Giddens, and Giddens got knocked off his feet by Miles Ghost Rouser. The ball came out, and Prince Dorba ended up with it.
Yeah, it was a shovel pass.
The 2-point try unsuccessful, and so with 2:51 remaining in the third, it is still now Arizona State 24 and Kansas State 6.
I don't think this is it's definitely not an onside kick situation, but you've told your group up front, be ready for one, right? You still have to rep every little thing every time.
Every detail, yes indeed. And you've been faulty on some details the last few moments with the fumble and the 15-yard penalty, as now Simon McClanahan will kick it off. And back deep, Melquan Stovall for Arizona State, and McClanahan booms it out of the end zone. It hit about 9 yards deep in the end zone and goes out for a touchback. And so ASU will start from its 25-yard line. And the 2 big offensive weapons tonight for the Devils have been Cam Skattebo and the primary weapon Jordan Tyson, having a career night. 9 receptions for 160 yards and 2 touchdowns. Skattebo on the evening is closing in on 100 total yards. He's rushed for 51, averaging about 3.5 yards per rush attempt, and he has caught 4 passes, has Scat, for 44 against this tough Kansas State defense. So Arizona State will go to work from its 25-yard line, 1st and 10. Handoff to Skattebo, looking for room up the middle. Stays on his feet, still on his feet, and has a first down out past the 35-yard line. They'll mark it just shy of the 36, call it an 11-yard gain. Skattebo showing great balance as he got knocked off his feet, or almost knocked off his feet twice, but still stayed afoot and got the first down. Great run.
His balance
it's incredible, isn't it?
Unbelievable. I should say his strength and his balance.
Those two work in concert very nicely with that young man, that's for sure. Kyson Brown now gives Scat a breather. Brown is in at running back. 2 receivers lined up to the right, a play fake, and Leavitt will throw to the near side of the field, incomplete. as Tyson was running a go route down the far sideline, and Leavitt thought he would pull up and threw it short, well behind where Tyson was. Incomplete, second down.
Looked like an RPO read. It's a backside 9 or a fade route. You throw it behind the receiver, and Tyson looked like he was just running it off as if it was a run play.
Yeah. So second down and 10. That clearly a busted play, but luckily no turnover resulting. 3 receivers lined up to the boundary side, the left side of this formation, as they hand it to Kyson Brown on second down, and he doesn't get much, maybe a yard. That's all. He got swallowed up by that K-State defense, as the tacklers, the primary tacklers, linebacker Rex Van Wy and nose tackle Damian Olalio. And the gain is to the 36, basically no gain. It's third down and 10 with under 1:40 to play in the third. ASU 24, Kansas State 6. Sun Devils offense, they were moving the ball in the last drive before the Tyson fumble, but they haven't gotten any points on the board here in the third quarter, except for a 47-yard Parker Lewis field goal. And a 3rd and 9 here. Blitz is coming, and boy, Leavitt's in trouble, and he throws it and has it complete to Melquan Stovall for a first down at the 47-yard line. You have got to be kidding me. Pressure coming right up the middle of the K-State defense. A full-out blitz on Sam. Rolls to his right. I thought he was trying to throw it away. He hits Stovall for a first down to the ASU 47.
This is how big a play that was. I just got ready to say, of the 18 completions, only 1 has gone to a wide receiver other than Jordan Tyson.
And some concerning news. Jordan Tyson is walking delicately, almost limping off to the sideline. He's still on his feet, but on the sideline, out of action for this play. A toss to Scadaboo heading left, and Scadaboo is stacked up for no gain on the play. That toss was actually a little bit behind Cam Scadaboo. He had to reach back to gather in Leavitt's pitch. And that play will likely be the final play of the third quarter. But what a big completion by Leavitt, and a nice catch by Melquan Stovall. You just hope that Tyson is okay on the sideline, as he was, his walking was a little bit labored, and it could be just a cramp, but as someone who knows about labored walking after surgery 6 weeks ago, I'm feeling his pain. 3 quarters in the books here in Manhattan, Kansas, after 3 quarters of play. It's Arizona State 24, Kansas State 6. Back with the fourth quarter of tonight's game after these messages on the Mountain America Credit Union Sun Devil Radio Network. As we welcome you back to the fourth quarter, along with Jeff Van Raphorst, Kevin Turner, producer-engineer Sean Crespin, and great to have our buddy David Tan back in the booth spotting for us once again. I'm Tim Healy, and it's been a terrific night for the Arizona State Sun Devils to this point. Can they finish the deal? Yeah. ASU has outgained K-State 360 yards to 178, and the Sun Devils lead the Wildcats 24-6. As we start the fourth quarter, Jeff, Arizona State will have a second down and 9 with the ball near midfield.
You know, like a number that really jumps at me through 3 quarters has been third down conversions. Sun Devils 9 of 12.
And the Sun Devils, by the way, came into this game, Jeff, second in the Big 12 and 26th nationally. They've gotten a lot better at converting third downs on offense the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, they were, what, last year?
They were terrible last year.
130 or something?
Yeah.
I mean, we were way in triple digits last year.
Sun Devils also with about better than 10 minutes differential in time of possession advantage as well. Second down for ASU, second down and 10 from the Sun Devil 47-yard line, as Leavitt throws a quick pass to the far side to Tyson, and he is run out of bounds by VJ Payne, the safety, near midfield. Fairly short gain on the play. That was a situation where Leavitt got the snap and immediately almost threw a quick short sidearm delivery to Tyson on the far sideline. The play only gained 3 yards, though. It'll be a third down and 7 coming up.
Yeah, a lot of field side blitzes for Kansas State. They blitzed the field side. ASU went back to the boundary, that short side screen.
Devils are 9 of 12 on third down tonight. They need a conversion here to keep this possession alive.
Man free look.
Leavitt throws a quick slant. That's caught by Tyson, and he's going to get to about the 45-yard line, but he's going to be 2 yards shy of the first down as the tackle was made by safety Nikendre Steiger on the play. So that'll set up 4th down, and looks like Kenny Dillingham is going to go for it on 4th and 2 from the Kansas State 45-yard line. ASU has not gone for it on 4th down yet tonight. Yes. On the season, the Devils are 10 of 19 on 4th down conversion tries. Leavitt will line up under center.
Try to get 5 yards or take a delay of game penalty here?
I think that's exactly what they're going to do. And in fact, now Leavitt is walking away, and the flag does drop, and that will push the Devils back 5. And you got to think they're going to punt it away now, although Leavitt and the offense still on the field.
Offense, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
This is interesting.
You got to punt this.
Yeah, I mean, the offense is still out there.
Why would you go for it on 4th and if you're going to do that, go for it on 4th and 2.
Interesting. Why would you go for it on 4th and 7 if you don't on 4th and 2? This is unless they're going to do some kind of a pooch punt, which Todd Graham's teams did with great frequency. Man, this is an interesting move here. And again, I think there may be.
They got offsides.
Oh, they got an offsides. Kansas State player jumped offsides, but problem is the Sun Devils are just going to get back the yardage that they lost. Jacob Parrish, a cornerback.
Offside with contact. Number 10, defense. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
So you're back where you started moments ago, 4th and 2.
Try to draw them offsides again.
Go for the hat trick in that regard here.
Although, all right, do you like the punt better here, or if they go for it, do you like the? I'm a punt fan in this scenario.
Yeah, I kind of am too, because you're handing the ball to K-State in great field position if you don't convert. 4th and 2. The line of scrimmage is the Kansas State 45-yard line. And I think they're going to try to draw him off again as Leavitt has clapped his hands several times and now is walking toward the sideline. Hey. And they drop a flag, and it's going to be, oh, geez.
I'm okay with all 3 of those.
Delay of game, offense, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
Well, we'll never get these last 3 minutes of our lives back, but
hey, you know what? That's a first. I've done a lot of broadcasts.
This is interesting.
I've never seen 3 intentional back-to-back-to-backs, but I like it. I think it's good coaching, right? You're never going to go for it.
No question. I mean, I think you and I both are in lockstep that the punt is the proper move here. Now, can Canyon Floyd do a better job of placing the ball deep? He had a punt from this range in the first half and kicked it out of the end zone.
A delay of game here?
They're going to try for another one. And there's another flag.
Delay of game, offense, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
So that's what the third delay, is that the third delay of game on this sequence here for Arizona State? That's like a new Big 12 record or something. The penalty yards are going to mount for the Sun Devils.
Hey, at the end of the day, it's still a punt. Let's go cover it.
That's basically what you need to do here. Andre Davis, a wide receiver, is back deep to await the kick. Floyd puts it airborne, and Davis makes the fair catch at the 10-yard line. And that'll be a 40-yard punt with no return. And Kansas State will take over with 12:45 remaining, deep in its end of the field and trailing the Sun Devils 24-6 as we take a break on the Mountain America Credit Union Sun Devil Radio Network. So far, the only Sun Devil score of this second half has been a 47-yard Parker Lewis field goal early in the third quarter. And by the way, that field goal means that Mountain America Credit Union will be sending another $250 to the Sun Devil Club. Just another way that Mountain America Credit Union is giving back and supporting Sun Devil athletics. Mountain America Credit Union, the official credit union of Sun Devil football.
How about this band? We were downtown last night, and the pep band came, started going through. Would they come through your restaurant?
Just a great atmosphere in downtown Manhattan. This is a true college town. Friday night before a big football game. Lots of folks downtown. The Kansas State fans that we've interacted with have been super friendly and welcoming. People just unsolicited walking by if they see you have Arizona State gear on and say, welcome to K-State. And it's been just terrific. And yeah, the band was parading through downtown. We were at a pizza establishment nearby, and they came into, I think they were in the outer patio area of the pizza place where we were, and just a great vibe and a great atmosphere.
It's fun to watch
on
that
the night before the game.
Fun to watch that whole college thing. There's a lot of military and Army people that we have. They were really nice, and we want to thank them for their service too. We really appreciate.
Yeah, I think Fort Riley is in Kansas, not too terribly far from here. So Kansas State will go to work from its 10-yard line on 1st and 10. As Johnson hands the ball off to DJ Giddens. Look out, he finds room up the middle. He's out to the 30, out to the 40, already to midfield, and finally is forced out of bounds by Xavion Alford. And they're going to mark him out of bounds at the 45-yard line of Arizona State, and it's a 45-yard rush for DJ Giddens. And Giddens, by the way, tonight has gone over the 1,000-yard mark for the season. As Johnson on 1st down looks to throw, delivers deep, and he has the pass complete to Dante Cephas, and Cephas is inside the 20, tackled at the 19-yard line, and that'll be a 1st down. A 26-yard pickup. So on 2 plays, they've gone from their 10 to the Arizona State 19.
Empty. Watch the quarterback draw again.
And now a whistle blows as Avery Johnson was ready to go back
Prior
and
to
throw.
the ball being snapped, Arizona State takes their second charge timeout of that.
The Sun Devils burning another timeout.
Timeout on the field.
And this game is not over by any stretch of the imagination.
No, this game really tilted on that Jordan Tyson fumble.
Boy, it sure did. The Devils were ready to deliver a knockout blow. And it was a fumble by Cam Scadaboo that turned the tide early in the game at Cincinnati back on October 19th. And you just hope that's not the case with the Tyson fumble here tonight. Timeout with 11:54 remaining. Arizona State 24, Kansas State 6 on the Mountain America Credit Union Sun Devil Radio Network. Say, folks, make plans to join us each week at Trophy in Chandler for a live broadcast of Sparky's Den with Coach Kenny Dillingham. Don't miss your chance to hang out with Sparky and special Sun Devil players and guests as we broadcast live from 6 to 7 p.m. each Wednesday night during the college football season. Sparky's Den with Coach Kenny Dillingham and host Luke Lipinski. This week's show, am I correct? Is this going to air on Tuesday night? It's still Wednesday. The line says, the read says Tuesday, but it is Wednesday, and every Wednesday night, 6 to 7 at Trophy in Chandler for Sparky's Den with Kenny Dillingham. The matter at hand here, Kansas State trying to get back into this ball game. And on just 2 plays, they went from their 10-yard line to the Arizona State 19, and they've got it 1st and 10 at the Sun Devil 19, trailing ASU 24-6. With 11:54 remaining in regulation here at Bill Snyder Family Stadium in Manhattan, Kansas. Avery Johnson. Joe Jackson is in at running back to the left of Johnson as Johnson under pressure dumps it off. Jackson out of the backfield makes the catch and is all the way down to the 4-yard line before he's tackled by Keith Abney. A 13-yard gain and a 1st and goal. Boy, Johnson just barely got that pass off before he got hit, but he threw it to the back that just came in, Joe Jackson.
A little wheel route in the boundary, and they picked it up.
On 1st and goal, they give it to Jackson here, and he goes untouched into the end zone for a Kansas State touchdown. And old momentum has shifted sidelines here early in the 4th quarter. And Kansas State battling to get back into this game, and you got to figure that the Wildcats will go for 2 again here. They tried for 2 on their first touchdown late in the 3rd and were unsuccessful. Boy, but how about that drive? In 4 plays, they go 90 yards. It took them 1 minute and 19 seconds to go 90 yards. 4 receivers line up to the right side. Johnson in the shotgun. Johnson gets the snap. Johnson throws a fade to the far corner of the end zone, and the ball is caught for a 2-point conversion. The catch is made by Hamilton High School product Trey Spivey. And it's now a 10-point game. ASU 24 and Kansas State 14. Spivey was well covered on that play by Keith Abney, but it was a well-thrown ball by Avery Johnson, and Spivey able to come down with it in the far back corner of the end zone.
That was a great throw. That was really good coverage by Abney on that as well. And tip their hat to him. Biggest problem is not the two-point conversion. Big problem right now is Kansas State running the ball so effectively, just gashing ASU up front.
The Wildcats now with 147 rushing yards, and Giddens has gone over the 100-yard mark. He's averaging now 10 yards per carry after the Sun Devils bottled him up big time in the first half. 13 attempts for 132 yards. And by the way, in going over the 1,000-yard mark, DJ Giddens tonight became only the 4th Kansas State player to post multiple 1,000-yard rushing seasons. The others, Darren Sproles, Daniel Thomas, and Deuce Vaughn. As McClanahan's kickoff is angled toward the far side of the end zone, it hits just inside the goal line and rolls out of the end zone for a touchback. And now the Arizona State offense will have to regather some momentum here, as the Sun Devils, their one-time 24-0 lead is down to 24-14, and there's still a lot of time left, 11.5 minutes remaining in regulation. Jordan Tyson has been the man tonight, 11 catches for 168 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Cam Scadaboo has just over 100 total yards tonight, rushing and receiving.
Yeah, 20 catches, 11 by Tyson, only 2 by one each for Gilry and Stovall. That's been it for the receiving corps. Otherwise, it's tight ends and running backs.
On first down, Scadaboo gets the handoff, and he picks up about 4 yards, downed at the 29-yard line. Decent push there on first down for the Sun Devil offensive line. It'll set up a 2nd down and 6.
Yeah, if you're ASU, you want a 5-6 minute drive, put points on the board.
Ideally.
Because Kansas State, I think, I'd almost double team Tyson in key downs.
On 2nd and 6, off play action, the throw here is complete to Tyson. I think he's got a first down. He was in the grasp of cornerback Jacob Parrish as he caught that pass at the 36-yard line, but Tyson, with his 12th reception of the night, gives the Sun Devils a big first down at the 36 of ASU.
Yeah, that was a contested slant route on the left side. That was a great catch by Tyson.
I think if they're going to pull this off, the Devils are going to need somebody other than Scadaboo or Tyson to come up with a big offensive play here in this fourth quarter.
Metayer had a pretty big first half, but he has been pretty quiet here in the second.
Metayer caught a touchdown pass in the first half. Again, a play fake to Scadaboo. The pass by Leavitt, and it's incomplete, intended for Tyson, but a penalty flag. 2 penalty flags are down as cornerback Jacob Parrish was draped all over Tyson, right blocking his view of that pass.
Number 10, defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Parrish is complaining, and the K-State fans are booing, but my goodness, he was draped all in front of Tyson, who could barely see the ball coming his way because of the way Parrish was playing him. So the pass interference penalty moves the ball into Kansas State territory to the 49 of the Wildcats. And the Sun Devils with consecutive first downs, one on the completion to Tyson, the other on the pass interference penalty. And they are now at the 49-yard line of K-State. Give to Scadaboo, and he is dropped. Nothing doing there, as Austin Moore led the defensive surge that time for K-State. It's actually a loss back to midfield to the 50-yard line as Scadaboo is put on the turf there.
You may have to have one of these be a keeper as well. Sam Leavitt really hurt the Wildcats in the first half with his feet.
And he really hasn't run much since then.
Haven't really thrown the ball much since then, but like you mentioned, somebody else is going to have to make some plays here.
As Jeff said, Leavitt did make some plays with his legs early in the ball game, if you just joined us. 2nd down and 11. Tyson motions and then goes back to a slot right. Off the play action fake, Leavitt. Here he takes off, he will run. Leavitt to the 45, Leavitt to the 40, and Leavitt dives forward and has a first down to the 38 of K-State. Ask and you shall receive. And it's a first down for Arizona State. Big run that time for Sam Leavitt.
Yeah, Sam was really decisive. He went back. He saw that it was zone. But, you know, Tyson came across and then in the backfield, then went back towards the ASU sidelines. You saw it was zone. And when the backers dropped and went wide, there was a big crease. Sam took it early over right guard in the first down.
A 12-yard gain for Leavitt. 1st and 10 at the Kansas State 38. Tyson, Brown, and Scadaboo both in the backfield with Leavitt. They hand it to Scadaboo. He cuts up the middle of the field, gets inside the 35 to the 34-yard line before he gets tackled on the play. The tackle was made among the Desmond Purnell, and also in on the play was safety Jack Fabris.
That was a nice job by Scad of realizing Kansas State is going to flow hard right now. They're going to run at him, but that cutback may be the play that gets him a crease and picks up some yardage.
Gain of 3. It'll be 2nd down and 7. Ball just inside the K-State 35. Under 8 minutes to go. Arizona State 24, Kansas State 14. Sun Devils once led this game 24-0. Again, they give it to Scadaboo, trying to get outside to the left. Slips out of one tackle, but dives forward and doesn't gain much yardage. Maybe a yard, but he's just barely inside the 35, so officially that'll go for no gain. Tackled by linebacker Austin Moore, and they're going to spot it at the 35-yard line, so it'll be 3rd down and 7. A huge 3rd down play here. ASU 9 of 13 on 3rd down tonight. And Scadaboo has exited the lineup.
ASU only has 1 timeout left, so they got to be careful here on offense not to let the clock run down too far.
Tyson Brown is in at running back. Leavitt drops back. Leavitt rolls to his right, spins out of a tackle, pointing downfield, throws complete at the 20-yard line, and Melquan Stovall brought down inside the 15. There's a penalty marker down, however, on the play. Back near the line of scrimmage, actually back in the backfield.
Number 58, offense, 10-yard penalty, 3rd down.
And a huge holding penalty on Maxie Hanachor. The 2nd penalty he has drawn tonight. The other one was a false start or an illegal motion penalty. Oh my goodness. It's just amazing how the Sun Devils have a knack of drawing penalties at the most inopportune times. That would have been a 1st down inside the 20. Instead, it's now 3rd and 17 at the Kansas State 45.
And the clock's running, though. They're going to let this thing run down. They'll get it down around 6:05 before they have to snap it.
And Kansas State needs to score twice here, trailing the Sun Devils by 10.
Wow, ASU called timeout here, Tim.
So the Sun Devils have just burned their last
Arizona State takes
timeout.
their 3rd and final charge timeout at the half.
ASU is now out of timeouts. But this is a fairly substantial play coming up here. Even if you could get back enough yards to consider a field goal try, Parker Lewis has hit one from 47 tonight, his first field goal as a Sun Devil. That would give ASU a 13-point lead with 6:24 remaining, but man, oh man, it's just uncanny about the timing of some of the penalties. On the night, the Devils have been penalized 8 times for 65 yards. As the ASU offense heads back onto the field. Arizona State is closing in on 400 total yards of offense tonight. Unofficially, we have the Sun Devils with 393 yards, Kansas State with 268. But the 17 they need here would be some of the biggest of the night if they can somehow get them. Scadaboo is back in on 3rd and 17. They hand it to Scadaboo, and Scadaboo only picks up about 3 or 4, down to around the 41. As safety VJ Payne was in on the tackle. The gain to the 42. The first hit came from defensive end Travis Bates. And so
that's going to keep the clock. Keep the clock going. You're 3rd and 19. You don't want to throw a pass and have the clock stop there. You can almost afford to try to draw them off sides again here, Tim.
Absolutely. You're under 6 minutes to go. Trying to find the play clock here. It's at 10 seconds. So they could take it down to about 5.5 minutes remaining. Let's see if they do that. No, they snap it to Canyon Floyd, and he gets off the short, high end-over-end kick. That'll be fielded on a fair catch inside the 10-yard line by backup receiver Andre Davis. And so Kansas State will take over at its 8-yard line. They've got 92 yards to go, but shoot, they only took less than a minute and a half to go 90 yards on their last possession. And they do need 2 scores to tie or go ahead. With 5:32 remaining, it's ASU 24, Kansas State 14. Let's take a break on the Mountain America Credit Union Sun Devil Radio Network. Well, Rapper, I just crunched some numbers here, and I'm kind of surprised that Arizona State has actually outgained Kansas State in the second half of this game. 170 yards to 160. It seems like K-State has had the better of it. Certainly in the fourth quarter they have. They've scored the last 14 points in this game. The Wildcats drove 90 yards in less than a minute and a half to get their last touchdown and 2-point conversion. Now, with 5:32 remaining in regulation and trailing Arizona State 24-14, Kansas State takes over at its 8-yard line, 1st and 10.
Yeah, ASU's had the ball 4 times this half. They went field goal, fumble, punt. But the good news on the 2 punts, both of those drives, Tim, were 7 plays, 5-minute drives.
Taking time off the clock.
K-State in their 3 possessions this half have gone punt, followed by 2 touchdowns back-to-back.
So 1st and 10 from the 8 as Avery Johnson in the shotgun. Fakes the give to Giddens, throws the pass to the far side of the field, caught by Dante Cephas, and he is run out of bounds immediately by Keith Abney. As Cephas, the former Penn State Nittany Lion, picks up 9 yards out to the 17-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 1. K-State right back to the line of scrimmage. Johnson to throw again. Pass over the middle is complete to Garrett Oakley, and the tight end has the 1st down. Jordan Crook making the tackle. Oakley dropped at the 25-yard line. Clock continues to tick. We are under 5 minutes remaining in regulation. 24-14 Arizona State. Off play action, Johnson again to throw. That pass caught by Cephas out near midfield. Wrestled down by Abney at the 48-yard line. And again, Kansas State getting chunks and doing so quickly.
No pass rush at all right now. Johnson having a lot of time, but the ball's coming out quick too.
Again, Johnson to throw. Loads of time. Delivers near side of the field. Complete as his receiver, Jace Brown, catches it and then backpedals out of bounds at the Arizona State 47-yard line. That's a pickup of 5 yards on the play. Actually, they'll mark it at the 46. 2nd down and 4 for Kansas State. Johnson looking to throw, delivers that pass, and a good catch by Spivey as he reached out on a pass thrown behind him right in front of the K-State bench and grabs it at the 42-yard line, and that's going to be another 1st down. Again, Abney on the play. Clock continues to tick. We're under 4 minutes remaining in regulation.
Yeah, because Kansas State substituted, ASU's going with a slow roll, and they're going to take off about 25 seconds on this clock.
As Blazin Lonawong and Jeff Clark come in, CJ Fight and Jacob Kangaika come out of there.
Hear the fans booing. Great defensive substitution.
Snap to Avery Johnson. Again, he's got time. Scrambles to his right, delivers the pass. Incomplete. Intended for one of his tight ends, and it's Garrett Oakley on the near sideline in front of the K-State bench. Pass overthrown, incomplete. The incompletion stops the clock with 3:31 left to go.
Yeah, now if a player goes out of bounds too, that will stop the clock. But outside of 4 minutes, if somebody goes out of bounds, the clock still runs.
K-State back up to the line of scrimmage. And,
you know what? K-State substituted. We could substitute now.
And the Sun Devils are going to do just that. Jordan Crook and Justin Watley come in. Clayton Smith and Caleb McCullough come out.
Yeah, the clock is not running right now, but that's just two more fresh bodies.
On 2nd down off play action, Johnson's pass to the near sideline is caught by Ty Bowman, and he's forced out of bounds by Abney at the 35-yard line. And that will set up a third down, 3rd and 4 for K-State. The line of scrimmage, the Arizona State 35, more subs by the Sun Devils. Elijah O'Neal, Caleb McCullough, Cyrus Fiaseyu come in. Elliott and Crook come out. And now Prince Dorba has to hustle out of the lineup. As Avery Johnson gets the snap off a play action fake, throws to the near side of the field, overthrown off the fingertips of Ty Bowman inside the Arizona State 5-yard line. The pass incomplete. And so with
4th down,
3:22 remaining. 4th down and 4 coming up for Kansas State.
All right, let's play coach. Who do you like? I feel like they've gone to their tight ends a lot.
DJ Giddens is the guy I'd worry about. He's
slot right.
It's funny, this has been all on the arm of Avery Johnson this drive. They haven't given it to Giddens once. 4th down and 4. And again, Johnson will throw, has time, steps up, he'll take off, he will run for the first down and dives forward. There's a flag down on the play. Johnson diving to a first down at the 30. One of the offensive linemen for Kansas State threw his arms up in disgust.
Holding, number 75, offense, 10-yard penalty, 4th down.
And that is why center Sam Hecht called for holding, nullifying a 4th down conversion run by quarterback Avery Johnson. And it will push the ball back to the 45-yard line of Arizona State with 3 minutes and 15 seconds left to go, and will set up a 4th and 14 for the Wildcats.
Yeah, they went down. Remember, Wildcats had this, and they ran an option into the boundary. I don't think that's on the docket right here.
So Kansas State lined up and ready to go, and now a whistle blows, and I think K-State's going to use a timeout here.
You know it's not ASU, because ASU's out of timeouts.
Devils don't have any.
The ruling on the field that the runner made the line to gain is under further review.
They're going to review whether Johnson made the line to gain. What difference does that make? Because they committed a penalty.
I wonder if I think he had the first down, but if he didn't get the first down, they could decline the penalty, and have Sun Devil ball. But
this
I think
official
it was pretty clear that he got the first down.
This official review brought to you by Accident Law Group, supporting the community, whether it's in the courtroom or on the field. Find us online at accidentlawgroup.com or call 480-900-HURT. Obviously, if he is short, the Devils would refuse the holding penalty and take over the ball, but it sure looked like Avery Johnson got the first down.
He did a nice job of leaning forward. He didn't slide.
He went forward instead of trying the slide. Sean Crespin, our engineer producer, is telling us that from what he's seen on the replay, he thinks that Johnson may be short of the first down.
Yeah, when he starts to slide, guys, his knee actually hits the ground early, and he should be spotted before the 31-yard line.
After review, the ruling on the field that the runner reached the line to gain stands. Therefore, the holding penalty will be enforced. It's a 10-yard penalty. It's 4th down.
I'm telling you, that was close. His knee hits as he starts to slide.
So K-State gets a break there in that regard, because had he not gotten the first down, the Devils would refuse the holding penalty and take over the ball. As it is, Kansas State is now faced with a 4th down and 14 at the Sun Devil 45-yard line with 3 minutes and 10 seconds remaining. Arizona State on top, 24-14. Kansas State has outscored the Devils 14-3 in the second half. So it's 4th down, and Johnson and the K-State offense ready to go. Johnson back to pass, has time, delivers downfield. The pass is complete to Trey Spivey, who has a first down at the 19-yard line. A 26-yard pickup by the Hamilton High School product, brought down by Cyrus Fiaseyu. And Kansas State converts on 4th and 14.
Kansas State has numbers to the left.
Avery Johnson rolling to his right, throws to the near side, dropped by DJ Giddens at about the 13-yard line on the sideline, the near sideline at the Kansas State bench, with Keith Abney the closest defender.
Now kind of just thinking ahead, Tim, Kansas State has all 3 timeouts left. Take that back. No, they have all 3 timeouts left and 2:38, so it's ASU is going to have to make a stop here. You're not going to be able to just get the ball and run timeout.
Hand off to Giddens, and Giddens is swallowed up and dropped by C.J. Fight after a yard gain to the 18. And the fans did not like that play call, even though Giddens has had a big night now with 132 yards rushing.
I'm surprised they didn't call timeout right there.
And so here's a 3rd and 9. They just converted a 4th and 14. Play action fake. Johnson pressured and now dodging away from tacklers. Still on his feet. Throws to the near side of the field. Incomplete. He was trying to hit his tight end Garrett Oakley on the near sideline with Javen Robinson in coverage. And now Kansas State will bring on the field goal unit. They need 10 points to tie. So Chris Kleiman figuring, let's get the field goal now and then likely an onside kick, although as Rapper said, K-State has all 3 of its timeouts, so they don't necessarily have to do an onside kick here with 2:07 left. Chris Tennant, their kicker, remember his only other field goal attempt, it was an attempt. It was a botched hold by the punter, Simon McClannon. This will be about a 36-yard try. That hold was a little dicey, but Tennant gets the kick away and he missed it. Missed it wide right.
The ball bounced on the snap on the ground. The snapper got it and laid it down perfectly.
And now a lot of the Kansas State fans starting to head for the exits with 2:02 remaining after their team did such great work to get back from 24-0 down to 24-14 and drove the ball quickly down on this possession. A missed field goal gives Arizona State possession of the ball with 2:02 remaining. And the Sun Devils leading by 10 and basically 1 first down, and it will seal the deal. Let's go to Kevin Turner, who has a quick update.
Hey, guys. Sean Cressman and I went to the restroom during our pregame, and we were listening.
Is this
a personal story or what?
We could hear the intercom. We could hear the Kansas State pregame show, and they were talking about the advantages that Kansas State had in special teams, and quote-unquote, Arizona State special teams sucks. Well, that's all karma, baby.
Yeah, that's.
Think about it.
It is interesting if you think back to what Bill Snyder did with this Kansas State team. They were always special team mavens, and for them to come out here at 2 field goals.
Special teams and non-defensive touchdowns, another area where Kansas State has excelled. They're kind of like the Virginia Tech of the Big 12.
That's a great analogy.
As Cameron Scadaboo gets the handoff on first down, only gets a yard, gets swallowed up, and now K-State has to burn a timeout.
This is the 2-minute timeout.
Oh, this is the 2-minute timeout, so this is actually an advantage for
Clock
Kansas
operator,
State.
please reset the game clock to 1 minute 56 seconds.
They get an extra stoppage of the clock, so K-State still has its timeouts remaining. 1:56 remaining in regulation. Sun Devils leading at 24-14 will take a timeout on the Mountain America Credit Union Sun Devil Radio Network. One of Jordan Tyson's 12 receptions on the night, 2 for touchdowns, 176 receiving yards tonight for Mr. Tyson.
He's got, of the 21 completions, he has 12.
How about that?
I mean, give the coaching staff some credit because they've really moved him around, put him in a lot of different formations and sets, and everybody knows that he's getting the ball, but yet they're able to still spring him free.
So as we resume play with 1:56 left in regulation, ASU with a 10-point lead. The Sun Devils have a 2nd down and 9 at their 21-yard line. Leavitt will line up under center. Makua Pule is in there to lead the way for Scadaboo, and Scadaboo gets the handoff, but gets tripped up after picking up only 2 yards to the 23.
Kansas State takes their first charge timeout of the half. Clock operator, please reset the game clock to 1 minute 53 seconds.
Kansas State.
This is a 30-second timeout.
Well, these officials keep giving Kansas State an extra second here, an extra second there. The clock was down to 1:52, and they tell them put 1 more second on the clock. It's now at 1:53. And a 3rd down and 7. And unless the Sun Devils can pick up 7 yards on this play, they're going to have to punt the ball back to K-State. But K-State at that point will likely have 1 timeout remaining. They have 2 left now. And they need 2 scores in less than 2 minutes' time.
That was
a first down would end the deal, but the Sun Devils, you figure, have to run the ball. You don't want to throw, risk an incompletion that would stop the clock here.
Now, do you keep your quarterback keeper? Do you fake it to Scott? Put your quarterback on the.
I think I'd have Sam Leavitt try to make another play with his legs, which he has done so brilliantly all season long and at several key junctures tonight.
Yeah, they got that corner, though, so wide. There's nothing there for Sam.
So they give it to Scadaboo. Scadaboo just trying to use up time, and he gets swarmed under by half the Kansas State defense. And he's dropped all the way back at the 11-yard line, but they give him forward progress to around
Kansas
the 21.
State takes their second charge timeout of the half. 30 seconds in length.
They actually spotted at the 22, so Kansas State will take its second timeout. That stops the clock with 1:47 to go. So the Sun Devils will have to punt the ball from deep in their end of the field. You got to figure Kansas State will put on a full-blown rush to try to block this kick.
We have not seen an onside kick against ASU this year, have we?
Don't remember off the top of my head. There haven't been many, certainly, if there have been. But the big issue for Floyd here is just to get this punt off. And the reserve wide receiver, Andre Davis, is back deep to await the punt. As Floyd gets the snap, here comes the rush, and Floyd gets off a pretty good kick. It's going to be fair caught at the 34-yard line by Davis. 44 yards on the punt, no return. And Kansas State, with one timeout remaining, will take over at its 34-yard line. They need to get 2 scores in the final minute 40 to tie or win this football game, trailing ASU 24-14. K-State has almost caught the Sun Devils in total yardage. ASU has been sitting on 398, 399 for quite a while, and they just haven't been able to get anything going their last couple of possessions. Kansas State with 352 yards of total offense. 1st and 10 from the 34 for Avery Johnson. Johnson under pressure, tries to get away, scrambles to his left, and he's upfield and takes a dive down at around the 39-yard line.
He didn't get out of bounds. He stayed inbounds, so the clock keeps running.
They're going to give him a gain to the 40, a pickup of 6. And what's the call here?
One of our guys is down.
Sun Devil is down on the play, and it's Jeff Clark, the big defensive lineman. And that stops the clock with 1:23 remaining. And there's no way you're going to accuse a Sun Devil of faking an injury. This is a moment when Arizona State wants that clock to keep on churning.
ASU's had some injuries along that front line. We talked about Jeff Clark going down here, and did we have another one earlier?
Remember, Prince Dorba missed the first 3 games of the season. Justin Watley's been in and out of the lineup tonight. Remember, he had to go to the tent, I think, at one point in the first half.
It's going to be J.P. Dieter getting some snaps coming in.
And they're still tending to Jeff Clark. He's on his back at the Kansas State 40-yard line. Clark, a big fella. He's a graduate student out of Powder Springs, Georgia. Began his career, spent 3 years at Georgia State. Played last year at Louisville. And has been a solid contributor in the defensive line this year. Hasn't racked up a lot of stats, but he's a big space plugger at 6'1", 285 pounds, and Jeff is limping as he heads to the far sideline. 1:23 remaining, 2nd down and 4 for Avery Johnson and the Kansas State offense. Johnson to throw once again. The pass downfield, incomplete. He was trying to hit Jace Brown, and Brown was blanketed by Sun Devil defensive backs back at around the 40-yard line of Arizona State, I should say. So it sets up 3rd down and 4. The clock stops on the incompletion. 1:19 remaining as Trey Spivey comes into the lineup for K-State and splits to the left side, one of 2 receivers to the left. Dante Sivas and Jace Brown are flanked wide right.
Martell Hughes is in there, a backer. As a
3rd
freshman.
down, the pass by Avery Johnson is caught by Jace Brown. He's got a 1st down near the 49-yard line, and he got popped. I think it might have been Caleb McCullough who got him, but it's a 1st down for Kansas State. 1st and 10 at the K-State 49. Johnson to throw on 1st down. That pass is complete. and it's caught near a first down at the Arizona State 40 by Trey Spivey, the Hamilton High School product. That's a first down, 11 yards. Tackle made by Ghost Rouser and Keith Abney. Kansas State on the move, and we are now 1 minute left in the game. Johnson on first down throwing deep, overthrows Spivey at the 20-yard line, incomplete. Clock stops on the incompletion, 56 seconds remaining.
That was a good job by Rouser not hitting Spivey on that. Spivey was up high, but Rouser did not hit him, did not give the chance for a flag on that.
CJ Fight, JP Dieter are in there now. Prince Dorba comes out of there. And Watley does too. On second down, Johnson's pass is completed and is caught by running back Joe Jackson at the 34-yard line. It's a gain of 6, and he was bumped into the Arizona State sideline by Keith Abney, stopping the clock with 52 seconds left. This has got to be excruciating for Sun Devil fans. Third down and 4.
How about Sun Devil broadcasters?
Avery Johnson's pass to the near side of the field. That is complete to Cephas for a first down. No, incomplete, they say. Tackle made by Keith Abney. I thought Cephas had that one, or he did. I thought he was saying incomplete, but it's caught for a first down. They move the change to the 27-yard line of Arizona State. Clock ticking, under 45 seconds left to go. Avery Johnson throws, that's caught. No, incomplete. Intended for Cephas. He got popped by Abney at around the 20-yard line. Boy, Abney's had a busy game tonight, hasn't he?
Yeah, the defense is really for the most part played pretty well. Abney's second leading tackler with 7 tackles, and Crooks, he leads it with 9.
Kansas State is just about caught up in the total yards. They have 391 yards now. ASU 399.
ASU does not have a sack. This would be a nice time.
Second down and 10. Pass is completed, and tackled in the field of play is the tight end, Brandon Lofton. He is brought down at the 20-yard line.
Kansas State takes their third and final charge timeout of the half.
Javen Robinson on the tackle, and K-State has to burn a timeout to stop the clock with 32 seconds remaining. A third down and 3 forthcoming for the Wildcats at the Arizona State 20-yard line.
Nice tackle that time by Javon. He got down low into the tight end's legs. Braden Lofton, 6'5", 240-pound tight end out of Omaha. And Javon gets down low, wraps up a couple of shins, checks out the shoelace ties, and makes sure he goes to the ground.
Sun Devil defense getting a chance to maybe regroup a little bit during this K-State timeout. So now the Wildcats are out of timeouts. And if the Sun Devils can just keep them out of the end zone and tackle them in the field of play, K-State's not going to have a lot of time to do much. And keep in mind, they need 2 scores here, trailing 24-14.
Spivey's their big, tall receiver. He's 6'4".
And he's done a nice job tonight against his hometown team. Avery Johnson looking to throw. The pass is off. It's caught by Spivey inside the 10-yard line, tackled there at the 6. And it's a pickup of 19 and a first and goal for Kansas State. And they line up at the line of scrimmage with 24 seconds remaining. Johnson again looking to throw. Scrambles to his left, gets the pass off. It's intercepted in the end zone. Intercepted by Shamari Simmons, and that'll do it. That will do it.
Ruling on the field is an interception. This is a touchback.
Shamari Simmons has had himself a game of tip ball early on the first drive. They got picked, a forced fumble that got a turnover, and then effectively his third turnover of the game, an interception in the end zone with 15 seconds left.
The third takeaway of the night for the Arizona State defense.
That was a magic number, right? And every time Kansas State's lost, they've thrown at least 2 picks. They've got 2 tonight plus a fumble.
And that one will seal the deal, Lucille, and give Arizona State a huge win on the road at Kansas State. Shamari Simmons with the interception that will lock things up as DeCarlos Brooks speeds onto the field. But it's the best formation of all, the victory formation, the knee for Sam Leavitt, and now the Sun Devils can celebrate a hard-earned win as Kansas State loses at home for the first time this season. In a battle of 7-2 teams, Arizona State comes into Manhattan, builds a 24-0 lead early in the third quarter, and then hangs on at the end and defeats Kansas State by the final of 24-14 as this magical mystery ride of a season continues for ASU as the Sun Devils improve to 8-2 on the year, 5-2 in Big 12 conference play, and ASU is still alive for a potential berth in the Big 12 championship game next month in Arlington, Texas. Let's go down to Kevin Turner as he's standing by with quarterback Sam Leavitt.
Sam, another inspired performance on the road, outstanding effort, 3 touchdowns, and again, you and Jordan Tyson got something cooking here in 2024.
Yeah, we came into the game and I told him, you got to go out and you got to win the game, so he did everything he needed to do. He had a fumble, which, we got to go back and work on, but, props to him and the rest of the team.
There was a lot of attention on Avery Johnson about his ability to create and extend plays, but it was you in the first half that really set the tone for this Sun Devil win tonight.
Yeah, no doubt. I've never said it on air or anything, but I think I'm one of the best in the nation and definitely the best freshman in the nation. So just trying to get better every single week.
We talk about your straight-ahead speed, but I talk about functional speed. You've got great field vision. You're almost like a 5-star wide receiver when you get in the open field.
I don't know really what to say to that. It's just kind of a knack I have, and just trying to get out in space and find something and create.
All right, Sam, go celebrate. Congratulations on the W.
Thank you.
All right, guys, let's go back upstairs.
All right, Kevin. Sam Leavitt having a tremendous night tonight. He threw for 275 yards and 3 touchdowns, gained 42 yards on 5 rushes, as he was a huge factor in ASU's stunning 24-14 upset win tonight at Kansas State. We will take a timeout here on the Mountain America Credit Union Sun Devil Radio Network.